Hello everyone. Welcome to Party Monday.
Hello everyone.
Give us an audio check.
Audio check.
Let us know if anyone's audio is too loud or not loud enough or anything of the sort. I think we may just need to add some other audio there. Ben is not a smart man. He is not a smart man.
It's been 12 months since the stream, so it's pressure.
Yeah.
Feeling the pressure. Topolis, welcome buddy. Hello
hey,
mate.
Toppy.
Hey Top.
We have Team Stonebeard here represented by Andy Bucks Art on
Twitch. On the Instagram. I'm on Twitch right now. Hello.
He's just decided he's going to start streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
You heard it here
You
first.
can catch me on Twitch on Monday nights under Big Deno Bugs.
Andy Bucks Art on Instagram. We have Ben X Layton, also on Instagram under Ben X Layton, and we have Honey Bunny Paints on Instagram. Welcome Frog Jim and welcome.
Why does
It does sound like we're at a Rainforest Cafe because I haven't closed the door. Hugo, can you close the door for me, buddy? Hugo has not listened. He also has no opposable thumbs, so that would be a difficult task for him. And that should be a little bit better. G'day, Jared. Jared's here.
Oh, I see.
Legend.
Hello.
Welcome to the party.
The wonderful JC.
Just a reminder, friends, my camera's here, your camera is here, and Bunny, your camera is that bad boy right there. It's a magnificent setup, I must say.
It's quite good.
It's pretty impressive.
I've got fancy rigging all over the shop. We might just turn your exposure up just a smidge. What do we think of that? No, that's the wrong way, don't it? Oh, look at this.
Oh, I'm quite pale.
Textbook. Spooky number one, Mum wants to see some feet. Well,
That is, I'm
Well-
assuming my mum.
well, if it's not your mum,
It's mum.
Send me a
It's
message.
Lisa.
I may have had something prepared for later in
Send me
regards
a
to some
message.
feet.
I've got a lot of feet.
We've
I've
got a lot of
of
feet things.
We've got a lot of feet photos.
some feet photos if
Sorry,
you want.
mum, you got to pay for those.
Yeah, we're not doing feet tonight. Hugo is going to probably lick our feet later on, but unfortunately, feet photos are extra.
I really can't get this right.
Yeah,
I've given him a bit of a...
It's now up the other
yeah,
way
it's
now.
up the other way now.
So, friends, tonight's stream, we are just going to kick back, relax, have a chinwag with this great group of people that we very rarely get together with. And at some stages, we may even do a little bit of talking about some models that we have here with us on this very fancy stream setup. These are the models that were entered in QMHE by Team Stonebeard, and they will be discussing their things that they like about the models and things they dislike, and hopefully maybe we'll talk about the results. G'day, Natalia. So let's go back to this shot. Tell me, what did you think of the weekend? Whoever wants to start.
You first, or you?
No, Andy can go.
I can start,
Yeah,
yeah. What
you
are
can
we going to start with the way that
I have a lot of
the
words.
weekend... I'm doing a Instagram post. So
Why don't we go with you, Ben?
start
Alright,
with you,
kick us
Ben.
off.
It was a lot of fun, yeah.
Good.
First in-person painting event that wasn't PAX, Paint and Take, which was designed for children, I think. So still haven't won a medal at that. But it was, it was more fun just to actually see a lot of Andy's work in the flesh, your work in the flesh, and just some other painters like Jared and stuff. So that was really fun. The judging and stuff, wasn't too fussed with, really. It was more just a hangout event for me, if anything. But the main benefit was this, getting to hang out and see other people's work who I've spent hours with online. So that was
Come here, baby boy.
that was the fun part for me, I think. Yeah. That's kind of...
Bunny,
Yeah,
your first event?
my first event, very, very first event. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good just to be with Team Stonebeard. That was the main thing. I only went up for Team Stonebeard to meet our friends. Could have gone with a lot less feet people.
What do you mean by that? Tell us more about that.
What was you spoke to him the most? The guy who had like the hundreds of poses.
Let's just say there was some interesting characters that came along for the ride at QMHE, and Bun was an absolute
I
hot
was
topic.
the main attraction.
Yeah.
Old rotten tooth pigment.
You do have some good feet on you, so it makes sense. We got chased around by people who are really attracted to feet. So
Yes, we did.
Good fishnets.
But that's let's get back on topic now, because we're we are a bunch of jokers at heart, and we do like to have a bit of fun when
No,
we're
it was
together.
good.
So it was a great time.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really. I think as a painter, I don't think you truly walk in. Well, maybe you do, but truly walking in there with the sole purpose just to win awards. If that's the reason you go to these sorts of events, then I think you're going to come up a bit short. I think time spent with friends, the opportunity to share what we're all so passionate about, and the ability to be creative as well and come up with some things for the future is probably the big win for all of us. And for us in particular, we're a big country, so all getting together in one place is not easy. And
100%.
An event like this is very broad in the types of people that you get attending it and the types of appeal that it has, which is its strength and also in some cases its weakness.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about a little bit later on, I'm sure. So it's cool to get a bit of exposure to some different styles of modelling, some different different things that isn't really our bag in figure modelling. But for me, it's always great to go to a painting event. I find it stokes the fires of enthusiasm to get painting.
Yeah.
And the added advantage this time was people coming to visit my neck of the woods and getting to see the events that I'm always attending. And
I felt like for you, it might have been quite nice to have I guess a lot more entries surrounding the things that you do as well, right? So like, it's probably no secret to people who have attended QMHE, but it is a largely historical based event. However, it's one of the fastest growing. It has one of the fastest growing fantasy elements to the event, which I think you've played a pretty big part in.
Well,
over
mostly
the last few
because
years.
I entered 20 to 30 models, right? So it's the fastest growing because I'm entering all my models.
Correct, and that's the nature of it. But then I guess with how many people we brought up this year, we brought 4 more people bringing roughly 10 to 15 models each. I think that had a knock-on effect for some more local people who might not have entered the event, but came along and entered some stuff too. So thus the categories were filled, and we had a lot more there.
I was thinking today, I wonder how they delineate when they want to split a category, how many models they think is the right number for a category.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they split quite a few categories this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Like just randomly.
Well, it sounds like they've not split very much at all before.
No. Well, I mean, the figure categories in the past, you'd probably expect to see 15 to 20 entries max per category. And you'd probably expect 5 to 10 of those to get models. Whereas this year, it seemed like there was more like 30 to 40 entries per category. And they only had 5 models winning awards. So I wonder if they've got a cap of we want 20 entries per category. And
Well, let's break that down one step further and like look at the way they chose to split. So for those in the chat, the entry that the category that we're talking about is
Bust.
Or fantasy
fantasy
bust. And so the way that they chose to split fantasy bust with, I think, over 40 entries was to go fantasy humanoid bust
Yeah, they
and
went
fantasy
non-humanoid.
non-humanoid bust.
That threw me massively. Like, hearing that, I was quite confused.
Yeah, so I've not seen it be split that way before, but I guess it's a fairly straightforward split. There was probably a 50-50 split, really, when you think about it, of monsters and...
It is cool to see heaps of young people. And one thing I think QMHE does a lot of things really well. I think they really do try to represent as many different people as they can. They encourage younger people. You know?
Absolutely.
They don't always nail it, right? But at least they're trying.
Very rarely does anyone fully nail it, though, right? Yeah. Like, and if you did, maybe you wouldn't do it again.
Which is perfect.
Trent is.
Yeah.
Well, apart from his third toe, with no. So that was one of the splits. There was actually 2 other splits. I believe there was a split in aircraft.
Yeah, there
of all
was.
places.
Star Wars.
And then there was a
Star
Star Wars
Wars.
split.
17 categories. So
Yeah.
here's Andrew's bust. I'll show off pretty much all of the entries from Team Stonebeard, other than myself, because you've seen all my entries already. But this is one of Andy's humanoid busts.
Yeah.
And then we move into something like this, which is a non-humanoid bust, which is the Troll from Big Child. What's his
Chicken
story called?
Quest.
Chicken Quest.
Yeah, the great story that what I loved about that bust is that we didn't figure this out, but on the 75mm version, he's actually caught the chicken. The chicken's dead on his waist.
Yeah.
So he's got it like
good little story element.
Yeah, it's a really cool little story element to that bust.
So they split all of the busts, and there was probably about 40 entries thereabouts into humanoid and non-humanoid, and they awarded those separately, bronze, silver, gold. But it's such an interesting event because it covers so many different categories of models and figures and aircraft, and they are spread quite thin when it comes to judging, and so you tend to get figure painters judging tanks and aircraft and ships and card models, and then you get those other people judging figure painting, and so you can get some interesting judging. So I'm just going to start going through models, and you can tell me about each of these and what you like most about this. So Bunny, this is your little Drow model. What do you like about this?
Her face mostly.
You don't like the webbing and the war paint stuff?
It's all wonky. I think that was like my first attempt at like some sort of freehand. I like her face better, but my other Alicia, I like her body better. That one.
Yeah, looking at the detail, I think you've probably doing yourself a bit hard there. That's pretty awesome. Particularly the chest and the under the breasticles one is awesome.
The chest is Lolth's actual house symbol.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you go. Beautiful. Unfortunately, did not receive anything.
So, just as a spectator of this model, photo to in the hand, and you're going to hear us say this a lot, things are very different when you see them in the hand. The softness of the highlights on the Alicia's
Tits.
boobies is so much more softer, and the thing about Alicia that gets lost is Alicia is quite a small bust in that space. So when you're putting those markings, whether they be tattoos or they are way cleaner in real life to when you see the photos. So that's something that I
like her
immediately.
Shoulder ones. I was pretty proud of those ones, but everything else.
Is this is a model or a representation of a character from some show of yours, isn't it? Naruto.
Yeah. So I put little horns on her and gave her a little thing on her forehead.
This is 2 as well. This is Alicia 2 for you, this one, isn't it? The previous one, the Drow, was Alicia 3.
Alicia 3, this was my second one, and my first one, she was blue.
Yeah.
Have you done any sculpting before?
No.
Oh, you did those horns?
I did the horns.
Yeah, little
but
things.
Like, other than that, I haven't sculpted anything.
And the third eye as well, right?
Yeah.
Which is your favourite of those two?
Drow.
Benny, what are you?
I like my Drow. She's more. I like my Kaguya. I love her chest. She's got a really good soft stomach. But the Drow is just more visually interesting to me.
As someone who has recently dived into the world of Drits.
The Drow all day.
Yes, Drow.
And I will round that up with the Drow. And originally Doja, the first that Storm did, the blue one, was probably my favourite. And I'm not going to get the opportunity to see that one in the flesh. But for me, I think the Drow is absolutely.
I am all about the other one.
Kaguya?
The skin tone does my head in. How realistic it looks.
It is pretty nuts.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck I did that.
No, it's...
I honestly, I don't remember what colours. I don't remember nothing about it.
Hey, Captain.
Bonjour. G'day, Captain
Carp.
Indeed.
Happy
it is
Party Monday.
Post QMHE roundup and chinwag with Team Stonebeard, the great people, and looking at all their models that they entered. So this one is by Sergio Calvio Rubio.
It sure is. I managed to acquire that model.
Gunskins.
Gunskins. So yeah, I guess this model is a direct replica of Sergio's orc that was last year. It was probably one of my favourite things on a miniature level from last year, and I really, really wanted it. So did one of my own. Gunskins came up predominantly because he's a meme in our friendship group.
Yeah.
I believe that I came. I think we were mid-lockdown and we were pretty fried.
It
we
was
were getting toward the back.
Started talking
yeah.
as well.
I think it was more toward the back end of the lockdown. And I was feeling, we were all feeling pretty fried, and so I had felt that Gunskins was going to be the new big thing in miniature painting, and I was very hyped on the idea of transferring like video game gun skins, COD gun skins into miniature painting. And so, yeah, the meme of gun skins was born as not everyone was as hyped as I was, and quickly realised that the realities in my head are not necessarily the realities on the outside. So this is him. The only difference between mine and Sergio's is that Sergio's is good. Yeah. And mine's on a display plinth, whereas his is not.
Now, I believe this was awarded silver.
Yeah, that was awarded silver. So this one was this has been to an event before. This went to Crimson Brush early this year, and I think it placed bronze at Crimson and then silver here.
Here is everyone's Instagrams, by the way, at Ben X Late. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not going to do that.
Anyone who's JC, if you could do links in chats or one of our good friends of the chat. We should quite say to everyone at home as well. Jared was actually, or JC, who's in chat, was with us for the whole weekend, as well as Stonebeard Jim and his wonderful partner of his wonderful fiance Rhiannon.
And this one's another one of yours, Andrew.
This is another one of mine. We're going back to me again. This is
great sculpt by the Secret Workshop.
This is a very great sculpt. Probably one of the best from Fur, in coalition with Fur. That's where you can buy it. This has got to be one of the most characterful faces going, I think.
So here's a fun fact that you might not be able to see here, but on this little thing, it's actually got the dirty paint water in, and this has everyone's names on there, so you can actually see Ben and Bunny and Deno and
Jim and
Rhiannon,
Moleman, Jub and myself, my beautiful wife.
Andy,
and then actually towards the bottom there is there's some other members of the Discord in there as well as it wraps around. But then as it wraps around, if you look and then you flip it up, those actually say proper words. So there's like, nomine patri and all that sort of stuff. So
Spiritus Sancti.
Yeah, all probably spelt incredibly wrong, but
Moleman on fire, well done.
Moleman is on fire.
So this one unfortunately didn't receive any medal.
No, it didn't receive any medal.
What a travesty.
It's probably not the biggest travesty of the weekend, in all honesty, and we'll get to some of that. But this is one that I'm particularly proud of.
Thanks, Moleman.
There are some elements on this that I got to push myself on. The face and probably the sheen in the helmet.
And texture game.
The texture,
Texture's strong, yeah. That's one of your finest pieces, I think, so well done.
Yeah.
We'll put this over here because we've looked at this one. Let's look at some of Ben Hameen's.
Yeah, let's do it.
Old Ben X.
What do you want, champ?
Well, let's look at this absolute train
the
wreck
worst,
of a
the
model
worst
that won a fucking award. This is a Skeksis from fucking whatever show it is.
Camera doesn't even want to focus it.
It's because you can't. There's not enough contrast for it to focus, mate. So.
Well, it's historically accurate to the puppets. All right.
This is from fucking. What was it?
Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal.
No, I was going to say it's from Broken Toad and Bright Sun.
Yeah, the Kickstarter.
In their Kickstarter from the Dark Crystal, and look, it's adequate, isn't it?
Superb.
Painted.
This won a bronze.
It did.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I say that with no disrespect, but I did not know you were as good a dry brusher as this.
That is offensive. Not a single dry brush is on that. Each one of those is hand painted.
Well done.
Trent may seem like he's being harsh on Benny right now, but we all know that Ben painted this as a literal throwaway piece. This was a cleansing piece that he painted after, I believe...
Can't look at it anymore.
You did it after Alchemist.
This was after Alchemist.
Alchemist, which was quite a mind peeler.
Do you know what my favourite part is?
I had
the
some
grey
hair.
still in the paint that he didn't quite get the paint deep enough into
there's
that.
so many things about that I find uncomfortable, and yet it won a bronze, and I congratulate you, sir.
Yeah.
This one, however, is very good.
This is.
And this one is...
He looks like my boss.
I believe this one is silver. This one silver, is that right?
No, Ben got both bronzes.
Oh, you got a bronze.
This was a bronze as well. Okay.
So that was bronze.
This is a travesty that these both got bronze together, because this is 10 times superior to that.
Yes.
I think it was 2 separate judges. It has to be.
And again, let's have a little look at this detail in the book here, because this is pretty great. Lots of little bits of text. Look at that camera quality, isn't it?
That's
quite
really
good.
lovely.
It's quite good.
Is there a dick butt in that book?
Is there?
There
a dick?
is.
There is
There's
down
a dick
near
butt.
the turtle's legs, down in between there, where he's
So we're definitely fans of weird little Easter eggs and things that we leave around our miniatures for each other.
Those little mushrooms are nice too.
Yeah.
Wow, very good. Look, so this was one I was really excited to look at, because I know you were quite proud of this, weren't you, Ben?
I was until after I finished it.
Fair enough. That's always a good attitude.
Like
to have.
what we had to talk about at the event, the face, once I finished it, I was not happy with.
This model definitely gave me a greater appreciation for your work in general, because the control of textures on each of these individual elements is really, really subtle and well done. You've got, clearly defined fabric textures on this, and this that are all different and well handled. So, but the thing that does let it down, as you've said, is the face, which is such a shame because every other element is rendered so interestingly. So
Thank you. I think with Ben's stuff, often what gets overlooked is his attention to detail to things like for me, the central column on this model, going down the neck into the gemmed necklace, and then the shirt into the book. It's all really, really lovely. Like, maybe the face is a little bit away from the mark, but the rest of it is just
my
lovely.
issue with the face, and I've said this to Ben already, but this area needs to have less overall contrast, because it's got all of these harsh lines, which is fine. It's a wrinkly old man, but you really need to have a light spot here so that this whole face is the highlight, and then all the other elements sort of sink away from that. And because you've got that in a few spots, but then you've also got all these dark elements, it just looks a little disjointed.
Well, that's the thing with you. You're too scared to take them to.
Friend from New Zealand, Adakim, in the chat. G'day, Adam.
Oh, hey, Adam.
Hey, mate. How are you?
So well done, mate. Two bronzes for those.
Thank you
in a
very much,
contested
mate.
category where Big Dano did not receive a medal.
No.
Andrew did.
I did.
And Bunny did. And let's show Bunny's gold-winning
My
entry
gold.
from this category.
Just before we go deep on this one, probably for everyone at home, I believe there was about 12 people who looked at this category to judge it. This was the category that the judges were least interested in judging, as they felt, I think, relatively to a degree, under-equipped to
Growling at a meat pie.
It's a meat
judge
pie, buddy. You tell them, Hugo, that meat pie is a fucking beast.
So, right. So there was about 12 judges who sort of had a look at this. I believe a few judges spat the dummy and walked away from the table as it was quite overwhelming for them. And I think the overall quality of this particular category was what caught them off guard. So,
in terms of being a figure painting judge, it's a difficult task when you know what you're looking at.
Yes.
When you don't know what you're looking at, it's very, very tough. So there's no judgment from me on the judging at the event. It's a difficult job, and so anyway, hey Rocket, say hi to everyone on stream. Rocket's arrived. She's gonna have a great time. Us talking about soldiers.
Yeah. Hey, you all get out of my house.
G'day, Rocket.
Yeah.
Let me know when you want me to turn the camera off, Rocket. Because you're going to walk past here.
What?
The camera's...
I'm so overwhelmed right now. It's been a long day.
Let's talk about this.
Oh.
So, Bunny. First non-metallic metal.
Yep.
First sheer cloth.
Yep.
First OSL.
Yep.
She went hard.
Three different OSLs on one
First
model.
glass.
Yep.
Any other firsts?
She was not fire. Oh no, I've done fire.
What about the fact that it's light, it's OSL affected, non-metal metallic?
It's that plus it's also it's not a full face.
Yeah.
Which is where I'm strong.
And remains strong on this piece.
Shit.
So this received a gold. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This
Kicked all your asses.
It did, yes.
This
well
did
done.
this one gold in humanoid.
So I think the sheer cloth effect is pretty awesome. And if you haven't done it before, you probably think, how the fuck do you do that, right?
Literally.
It's not that hard.
No, it's so easy. Like, it's literally the easiest thing. Like,
Still witchcraft to me.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think you just I think you get to paint less of the face, right? Like, there's not as much of it. The way that it does, you mix in a colour.
nah. It was more, I painted with a veil, like how I normally would paint any other cloth first, and then I just fucking smack some skin
Just
tone
like
on it.
highlighted the skin tone. Yeah.
Literally. Where the cloth touched the face, it's just where you put skin tone. Like, it was honestly one of the most easiest things.
Yep. I think there's two ways you can approach it, right? You can paint the skin and then highlight the fabric.
Yep.
Or you can paint the fabric and then put in the skin.
Yeah, I think the second way would be the way that I would
The
have
only
That's how
thing
I
that
would
caught
say,
me off guard is with sheer fabric. The high points of the sheer fabric
Is where it's darker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're reversing things.
You reverse it.
Yeah, so you had to like throw out pretty much everything that you already knew.
What I'd love to hear you talk about, because being along the ride with you when you painted this was a challenging piece, right? And this had elements on it where you really like didn't just paint it once. You went in.
Yeah, that staff I
Yeah.
painted about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. And that's I guess some of the things we don't talk about as much, but you know.
G'day, JB Painting.
That vial, didn't paint it at all.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that for first times are really well executed. So, very pleased that you received gold for this, and I'm going to claim full credit. Well done, me.
Yeah.
That was a
What an
Thanks, Mole Man.
inspirational
Hey, that was
teacher I
a
am.
that
See
was
you,
a
Mole Man.
yeah.
See you, Mole.
See you, Mole Man.
Hey, Jan.
That was a huge moment for us to be along the ride with Bunny for that one.
Yep.
We're very
Yeah.
proud of you for that.
I tried really hard
Yeah.
on her, and I do consider her probably one of my best pieces.
This one was like secret for the event.
It wasn't a secret for the event. It was secret because I couldn't be bothered taking photos of it and
Yeah.
never posted it because it photographs.
I didn't even know that you entered this actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this
It's
I think-
based off Demon Slayer, so Akaza.
this did not receive a medal.
Nope.
But there was a very, very challenging category. There was only 3 medals awarded in the figure category for fantasy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hot garbage, this one.
No, it's
No, I
good.
like
It's just what I'm looking at is I can see how challenging this figure would be to paint, right? Because you've got no like clear focal point. You've got all these weird angles that
Yeah.
are pushing you off into different areas.
Do we ever talk about such a thing as too much negative space? Because this has got a lot of it, I think. When you start getting around
Do you
it,
have this one too?
do.
pending angles, there's a lot of...
We
I
tend,
like the demon head.
we
I
tend
think
to
I
buy hard models, and you tend to tackle them first, and I go, I ain't touching that.
I mean, that's humming right now on camera. Like, that's looking pretty great.
I think it's pretty cool.
I really like the demon head.
I spent so much time painting the wood floor. There's so many colours in that wood floor, and then I fucking covered it all up.
Is that Demon Head? That's also from Demon Hunter as well, or is that just
this is based off Akaza, so this is what I call Rengoku's Revenge.
cool?
So of course Tenjiro
Yep.
is the main. So I painted his little scar on her forehead, and
Yeah.
his kitsune mask and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's based off the demon Akaza.
That's cool.
Awesome.
This is your first 75mm or first big model that's not a bust.
I did this one before.
Windrider, I
that,
guess,
yeah.
counts.
Yeah, and you have that one KDM one under the belt too, the couch girl.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
Let's go.
She
and
was
look
54.
She's 54.
She's 54.
Another of Andrew's figures. This
Ah.
one from the same category also did not receive an award.
No, this one's just a. This one.
This is a throwaway for you.
This
kind
was
of.
a throwaway. Actually, this was so
like Christmas.
I took 2 months, 2 months off display painting,
Yeah.
and I was sort of painting an Eldar.
Craig
army at that time.
076 says, "Hi Buckers."
Hi mate, how are you, Craig? Pleasure to see you. That's Craig O'Neill, if you remember. Big
Okay,
Craig.
Craig.
Yeah. This is Kyra from Black Crow Miniatures. Just picked this model up at Crimson Brush earlier in the year. A fun little piece, nothing too serious. I wanted to have a different take on it. Most people I'd seen before we got to the event, there was 3 of these at the event, by the way. I've not seen one of these before. Most people paint this character as a rogue.
Like
and
dark
You
yeah.
like a ranger.
I liked the idea of a patchwork ranger. So I actually went through the wars on this model, as originally I had her back leg looking like tartan. And decided it didn't look good. So
It's a no from me.
yeah, I don't like that.
But let's look at one that did not receive an award, but is a yes from me.
Yeah,
A yes from me as well.
Oh, he's so wide. Look at that. What? He's a thick
He's
boy.
a staunch
he is
boy.
a
He
thick.
is.
He's
This
solid.
is a classic figure sculpted by Raul Garcia Latorre. It is a
Beautiful base.
Gaul.
yeah,
And-
3rd century.
It has a fantastic shield. It has a fantastic sculpted musculature, and the base is excellent. Now, unfortunately, this received no award, no medal in a historical category.
What we think is for maybe 2 reasons.
One is probably that I use non-metal metallics to tell the story, and the second one is that the central element on the shield that the metal brace is buckled to is actually of wood grain. Historically, not metal.
This element is supposed to be wood. And the historical guys, the judges category, are pretty keen on accuracy. So getting that element wrong probably knocks you out of the medals.
Yeah, this one I'm pretty proud of this piece. I like it. I like the story it tells.
The shield's great, mate. The shield is
probably the high point of the piece, and
Yeah, I love the shield.
I tried some things on this shield to really create what paint would look like, distressed and like stressed out, and weather
Here's
influenced.
something I said to you already where you went wrong.
Yeah,
The shield is your best element, right?
yeah.
But when you look at it front on, you get the shield, but you don't get the right angle of the dude.
Yeah.
When you look at the dude at the right angle, you don't get the shield, and it's also the wrong angle for the model. I just think you could have considered the base and the shield and the lighting and all those things to draw you into the best painted bits, which are this, and just change up the angle so you get more of the face. But it's a very good piece.
Yeah, it's. I thought it would actually do better than it did, but lessons learned.
Always
No one
believe in gold.
It was a big boy.
He's a big boy, isn't he?
His
He
head's
was
fucking
the
massive.
biggest thing I had painted.
The testicle.
It's like painting a nut.
Is this
Tim.
a 3D print?
No, this is a resin cast from Corax something. I'll put his name in chat. But he's an Etsy sculptor, and he makes these out of clay, and he did a Boba Fett and an Ahsoka Tano head that I purchased. Topulus got me onto this guy, actually.
On your top. These were entered into the Star Wars category and received gold. So did Ahsoka, actually. Pass me Ahsoka. Double gold for Ben in the...
In both Rebels
And
and
both
Empires,
Rebels,
and that was an
yeah.
interesting split. They decided to just split the category by
Into
factions,
faction,
and
yeah.
did Empire and Rebels, and Ben covers both of those very well, and double gold.
Tell me about these two characters. Who's your favourite and why?
Oh, wow.
God, let's tell him to pick a favourite choice.
It is. I have both of them tattooed on me. I love both of them.
Thanks, Top.
But Boba Fett was definitely harder to paint than Ahsoka.
We all wanted it. It's the story we wanted, isn't
The
it?
fan fiction I didn't want. Yeah, Boba Fett was way harder to paint.
So I'm just going to go ahead and launch in here and just say Ahsoka.
I'm going home.
Ahsoka is the one that I like the most, personally.
I like Rosario Dawson. I think it was great that they cast her because she is very cool looking. Both golds, mate, in a Star Wars category that had a lot of models that were not figures. They stood out,
There's chips on the back of her.
and
Okay.
and you've done well.
Yeah.
Yeah, another category that would have been
Thank you,
hard to
mate.
judge
I did
based
that,
on
yeah.
that, right?
So we did a challenge, Uncle Tim. We did a challenge of models for Team Stonebeard called the Cozy Challenge. Hugo's unimpressed with something outside. And so Team Stonebeard painted some of these figures from creepy tables called Cozy.
Yeah, thanks, Rhiannon, for choosing Cozy.
Oh, I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, you did.
I had so much fun.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
Miserable time.
Yeah.
I decided I would try stippling a jumper for the first time, and it took a good week, and I was very sore.
Oh, he was looking for the ball. He was looking for the TV ball.
You alright, buddy? I know, it's tough, isn't it?
But no, it was fun. It was challenging, definitely. But that was the first time I was dabbling into getting into painting a lot of texture and attempting new things.
This is a cool shot, look at these two.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to get a photo of both of them together.
So that chick from The Witcher, what's her name? Ciri?
Siri. Yeah.
Ciri, modern day Ciri.
Pretty much, yeah.
Why is she sad?
She's just a sad woman. I don't know. Everyone depicts it as sad, but I don't think so.
She seems like a powerhouse in the show.
She is. But no, but everyone thinks that this painting's so sad. And I'm like, she's not fucking sad at all.
because
It's her makeup smudged and shit 'cause she's out on fighting.
she's just
Fair
sweaty.
This is like her
Sweaty.
sitting. Yeah, she's like fighting, so all her makeup is fucked. Her makeup's fucked in all the games and shit as well.
It is amazing how you can get, and we had 5 versions of this, and all 5 of
They
them
were
looked
completely
vastly
different. Yeah.
Yeah. So Storm actually came out of the gates incredibly strong. Storm, Bun finished first, and really
Put the
set
pressure.
set the precedent
And
for what we were
made
doing.
you and Ben just absolutely
Yeah.
spin
Yeah.
your wheels over
Yeah.
and over. This is based on your wife.
This is based on my wife. Well, initially, what it started as was I thought, how can I separate my version of this and do it differently?
I'll make
And
it drunk.
So I thought, well, cozy, boozy. But then I thought the way that she was looking was quite suspect, right? At the idea that something was being put in her drink. So maybe it, pokes attention at that sort of culture and people putting things in girls' drinks when they shouldn't. But I decided for the colour scheme to have it based on my wife. And so that's her eyes and hair. And then on the jumper, if you look the cheerleading jumper, it has a J for Jub. So
And we have hashtag Team Stonebeard. So
we do. Hashtag Steve.
well done.
Team
Some
Stonebeard on the cup.
neat lettering on all of those elements. You guys are having a rough time tonight. Now, is this supposed to be the special drink that witches drink?
Yeah, mutagens.
Cool.
Mutagen potions.
I've only learned about the Witcher since watching the show, so
Yeah.
I don't know any of the special things. Well done, well done. Nothing for either of them, I believe. No.
No.
medals?
No. And maybe you'll notice a trend. Like Yama was the only female boss.
Yeah,
that,
they
that
hate
placed, Yeah.
So
Strong take from Buddy there.
don't get me fucking started.
Alright.
Nudity is probably
I
something
went
that's...
home and had a good yell
Yeah, can we
about
talk
it.
about this one?
I
'Cause
had a
I
good
love
yell.
this one.
All right, Benny's sheep rider.
Mate.
Let's zoom in a bit
Mate.
here because I think we can get some really tight angles of that face and just go, wow, look at that. Look at the cold lights on that, subtle cold lights there on the left.
First time really going after it as well, wasn't it?
I had tried. So the other time I tried it was on the Connor 3D printed bust head.
Yeah.
But I was doing that, keeping that very sketchy, and
Yeah.
that's when I really was like,
Yeah.
I want to attempt this.
Painted by one of our favourites, that kind of boss, wasn't it? So,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So this was the first time
Did you take the Lucas Pino?
I did. I took that off of the box and stuck it on the plinth, which I
Hey, Rocket.
I literally can't go anywhere in my house.
Yeah, you can. Where do you want to go?
Well, I want to hang out in the lounge.
Yeah, go hang out on the
No,
lounge.
I can't. I'll be on camera.
No, you won't. You're not on
It's
camera.
okay. What's for dinner?
I'm turning off cameras right now.
No,
We'll be back in a short moment, friends. And we're back.
Howdy.
Let's continue talking about this wonderful piece by Ben. Sorry about that little interjection there. We just had Rocket arriving home. We had to work out plans for dinner and all those sorts of activities.
Just random people just sitting in a lounge room.
The truth. I
That-
just have meltdown.
That you're excited about having people in your house. Let's talk about this, Ben, because this is your finest piece to date. Do you concur
Indeed.
with that assessment?
I do.
Well done.
I set out with that intention in mind when painting it, and I think I achieved it.
Your again, texture control very evident on all of the fabrics. I think it's an element that I didn't appreciate enough in photos. So
Thanks, JC.
you need to slightly amend the sharpening and contrast of your photographies.
Photos are not my strong suit, right?
I'll zoom out a little bit more. But I particularly liked the lighting on the face, and I think if you look at this versus the Alchemist, you can really see the difference in what I was talking about in how you position the lights.
This guy popping up like, hey man, you want to try some of my
Do you
potions?
want to see some
Do you want some of this, bro?
Oh,
It looks like he's trying to sell you something on the street.
yeah, 100%.
Fuck you. Hey man.
I mean,
Try this,
40
motherfucker.
bucks.
So, ooh, sorry, Alchemist.
Just break it.
So, your gold buckle is fantastic. Your leather, probably just, I'd like to see a little bit more leather texture, a little bit more life. But I think what I look at your pieces and say is that you've got great control over texture, you've got great control over value, but you really struggle with saturation. That's the element that I would like to see more from you.
When you say more, do you mean more saturation, or you'd like to see more control over saturation?
Well, I think probably a little from column A and a little from column B. You know, Bunny's not afraid to ram some colour up you.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think just even here, like just the little touches of pink in this. You guys are having a bad time tonight. There's a lot of dogs barking. You know, obviously we're talking about a fantasy piece versus a more sober sort of palette, but
What a way to describe Ben's palette. Sober,
You know, that fits
accurate.
with-
That's
fits with
it's
character,
really good.
yeah.
Fits with
I'm
character.
I'm probably the most sober man you'll meet.
You know how I was trying to find the word to describe it? That's
Sober.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sober.
Reminds
yeah.
me of Weet-Bix.
Yeah.
So just,
Love it.
I would love to see
Dry.
some real spots of red or vibrant colour, something else
Yeah.
to
On my shoulder.
to create more. You guys going hard.
He's the stream protector tonight.
Yeah, he's protecting us. I might have to close that little door so he doesn't run around. Anyway, this unfortunately also did not receive a medal, but
No,
it's
it
a
did
medal.
not.
It's a gold in my books, mate. So
Thank you. Appreciate
well
it,
done.
mate.
The Norman,
Little Norman.
This
Norman the Norman,
most controversial piece there.
received a gold.
He won gold in historical bust.
Yeah. All right, Hugo, come here, buddy.
So
Got to stop him barking. Hey, come here.
So
that was a
keep
hot
talking.
topic. Maybe we should leave that one.
No, keep talking.
no, let's keep
Okay.
going. So this one was entered in. It didn't have a card on it, correct? When
No.
when originally.
So yeah.
I was there when they were arguing about it.
So this one has a funny story, right? So when I was packing the case, there was one very small little bit left of room, and I looked at Jub and I said, "Hey, what do you reckon? If I had to choose one, these are the only two things that'll fit in. Which one would you choose?" And she chose this one, and so I chucked him in, and he was just a throwaway. Who cares? Bring him along for the ride. Some people will remember him from the Boys. He's got a mate. So, we chucked him in and chucked him in the category, and he was by far, wasn't he, the smallest little chap on the table. So much so that, how the system works for it, after judging, they place cards out in front to let spectators know where they placed. This didn't have a card at all, and so, I'd assumed nothing of it because, again, it wasn't expected to do anything or anything. And so it wasn't until the morning of this day two that Bun came up, or like maybe early afternoon, Bun came up and said, "Hey, they're arguing about one of your pieces." And so I didn't see the argument, but yes.
Yeah, no, I was talking to some, because a lot of people were talking to me about my Wind Rider. And
It was quite a crowd.
it was. That's what the cards look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I heard the judges like full on having an argument over Bucks's piece because they were like, tell me why you would give this a gold but not this one, like this one's shit compared to this one, like what about this deserves a gold. Like they were going hard at each other. I had to tell the old man to stop talking to me so I could have a listen.
And then I guess leave it away.
So this is one of my challenges. Yeah, Tarask, it's fucking Queensland, mate. This is one of my challenges, and I say this with full respect, is that judging is a difficult job, right? I know, I've done it. This piece, and potentially one of Bucks' other
I
ones.
just saw the spin from I can see from here. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
So this had a break. This had a break, and so he went from
like,
being
where I'm sitting now.
it went from being a little bit under enthused to a little bit over enthused. So this had a break.
From my angle.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, this had a break from coming
Oh yeah,
coming up.
He is rigid.
So can we not focus on the fucking busters?
Yeah. So look, so this is the interesting thing, right? This is entered in a historical category. This is a historical-ish piece.
Let's call it a stylized historical.
It's a stylized historical piece. The Spartans are obviously a true historical collection of people. However, they've been glorified in films such as 300 and so on.
Yeah.
And this tends more towards the Frank Miller stylized version of a Spartan than potentially the traditional actual Spartan.
Yes.
The style of painting is all Spanish all the time. It's magnificent. It's tremendous. It's a phenomenal piece. Got nothing.
No, I didn't win anything with this.
Could have been a best in show at Crimson Brush.
Yes.
In my
One of my favourite
opinion?
pieces from Mr. Bucks.
could have been in the mix. So I find it challenging when a piece like this is put in a historical category and judged to not be medal worthy against pieces that do not have anywhere near this level of, I'm spitting all over the place, this level of contrast, this level of visual interest. But it is a very different style of painting what they are looking for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And we had a chat both earlier in the week before the lead up with this piece, confirmed it on the morning or like the first day of really that it was either going to do, well, Trent had felt it was either going to do really, really well or not exist.
Mhm.
But we both sort of at the end of that conversation decided it wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
That's where we thought, and it didn't. It's a piece that I am proud of. I wish I'd had a little bit more time with it. I did this the week before the event. It presented some interesting challenges. I had some wonderful help from friends around the table and also from the wonderful Dave Colwell
yeah.
with this piece.
Now, Rocket, let's get your thoughts on this one. I'm just gonna slide it over to you.
Whose is it?
It's Andrew's. It's a little bit wonky, so try not to drop it.
The spear got broken, so he's kind of got like a,
We want your very, very accurate perspective. Do you like it? Or do you dislike it?
too much teal.
There's a good amount of teal. I mean, I don't really understand why there's teal on the face. Is it water? Probably. But no, that's fine. Also, I'm not sure why his thighs are red. Was it entered in historical?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
For those at home, Rocket's actually a bit of a veteran when
She's
it
an
comes to
astute judge of figures.
judging my figures as well. You've judged my figures once
Oh,
before.
was that yours?
That was mine.
Oh, yeah.
But also you've been around the world and
I've
seen some
been
competitions.
to international
Yeah.
competitions, and I've met some famous people.
She
Such
knows
as
some
me.
people.
Trent Edison.
Look, I think I don't know what you got on this, whether you got a medal or not.
No, 0 medals for that one.
Yeah, well, I would say that is probably due to the skin colour.
Yeah.
And while I like the shield, it has a Marvel vibe to me. So I think I probably wouldn't have put the
Would you have
pencil
given this a
green.
medal?
No.
Wow.
I mean, I haven't seen the competition, but that to me is not historical.
All right. But do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Good.
So this is a conversation that keeps opening up between historical painting and fantasy painting. And then people who enjoy both naturally blend in styles when they do it.
Every year I've gone to QMHE, I've entered historical, and I've really tried to do similar stuff to that, which is challenge the way that they think
And
about
what I said
historical.
every
And
time.
you've said you're an idiot, and I
said
agree with you.
can't have blue skin in historical.
Yeah. So
Wise woman.
a good one. I showed them a few historical pieces. So here's a really good one. I took William Wallace to Crimson Brush, and he got carded at Crimson Brush, and he should have. At a fantasy painting event, he didn't have the elements that we look for. So are we not doing the same thing?
That's a very good point. It's a very good point. Now, so I reflect on Crystal Dragon a few years ago. I wasn't involved in judging, but I was at the event. Now, one of the historical painters from QMHE, Graham, attended the event. He brought 12 models.
Yeah.
None of them placed at Crystal Dragon. Now, is that because they were bad? No, they were different. And when I go overseas and I go to Monty and I see the historical side of the room and then the fantasy side of the room, there is much less difference between the European historical and the European fantasy because they're much more aligned groups.
Well, and they've been having the dialogue between them has been going for a long time.
So I think it's because we don't have enough cross representation that those two styles aren't melding. Because Kirill Knave, right, is probably one of the greatest painters in the world, if not the greatest.
Yes, Ben.
Arguable.
Doofus. And if the majority of works that he paints is historical,
Yeah.
there would not be a single historical painter that would not go, Kirill's phenomenal. So
Kirill's the best.
Kirill's the best. So how do we combine, that?
Well, let's start at why Kirill's the best, right? It's because he has,
This
yeah.
Hoggle didn't receive an award, did it, Ben? So
No.
can't be looking at that anymore.
Yeah.
Just quickly with Hoggle, this is a really
Let's go
interesting
Windrider.
example.
Windrider?
Before we get to Windrider,
There's a
just
screw on the back, be careful.
Ben's the way that
For
Ben,
no reason, it's
Ben
a no reason
paints,
screw.
right? We referred to it as sober before. Is that not more historical
It is.
styles of
It
painting
is.
in fantasy?
Was it
So,
so
maybe-
green on your camera?
Maybe if I was interested in historical material, I'd clean up.
So, if that was a historical figure, that sheep rider, and we put that in a historical,
It'd win
category,
best in show.
Dwarfs existed, I believe it.
It
At that event,
potentially does well. The non-metallic metal probably loses at that.
Yeah.
I want to try and find a way to fuse the styles that the historical guys sit up and go, we've got to give that a medal.
Yeah.
And they've done it. I mean, this Norman achieved a gold, so there's obviously a way to get through to them.
I'll tell you what-
and I'm talking like they're doing something wrong. They're
Yeah,
not.
no,
right?
no, they're just the way
It's
they
just-
see
This
things.
is the things that they value
Yeah.
as painters is different to what we value.
Do you know what I'd be really disheartened by? I'd be very disheartened by if it's the fact that I use true metallics over non-metal metallics. And if that's the conversation we're having, then it's got to be thrown out.
Yeah.
It's got to go to the
But I
bin
think
already.
that's what it is.
I think it is too.
Yeah. So let's talk about Bunny's second gold medal award-winning piece.
Yeah.
Beat you on that one too.
Suck it, Trebek. Suck it long and suck it good. Awesome figure. This was shifted from bust with the dragon head into the
Two
figure
figures
category
because of the dude on the back.
and won a gold in figure category. A beautiful piece. This is also based on some other comic book or something, isn't it?
Spirited Away. It's a
Spirited Away.
anime movie.
An anime film by Hiroyako Yazami or something. What's his name? Something like that, isn't it?
Spot on.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it.
that's
That was
Oh, yeah.
that was it.
What is his name?
I'll butcher it because I'm
It's
bogan.
Studio Ghibli.
Yeah,
Ghibli.
Yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
say that. We'll just say that. We won't try and pronounce anything.
So I was pretty excited when I saw this because Ben's photos of these little friendos in the back make them look over sharpened.
Yeah.
And in this they look cool. They're like little dudes, little eyeballs.
They're just little Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like you've got some of the characters from the movie hidden in the hydrangeas.
This little dude down the bottom with his mask, he's one of them, isn't he?
Yes, and there's the bird dude, and then there's the rat dude also hidden in there. Yeah. And then all the soot sprites from the movie, and the paper planes that hurt Haku, and then the flowers that they made in front of.
Well researched.
So,
Well researched from a movie that I watch 4 times a month.
this
It's
Point
beautiful.
Gold, now
It's beautiful, this
you're very proud of this.
Yes.
Good.
Only because I just have mad sentimental value to it, but it was also the first thing without tits that I've ever painted.
Yama or this?
Yama's got tits, mate.
No.
This.
No.
Which
choice.
is her favourite?
Yama
Yeah,
or
it'd be
this?
this because I have
Yeah, I'm with you.
sentimental
Yeah, I'm with you on this one.
with the topic.
This is a harder figure to paint than it looks, isn't it?
No,
Oh,
it was so easy.
Well, there you go.
She banged this out. And
It was
I
like
reckon-
it was like 3 days.
Yeah.
I found it really difficult because of this shape.
Too much shit going on, yeah.
This shape is so simple and clean. It felt that I needed to do more to it. And then beside the heaps and heaps and heaps of detail on this, I felt that was a challenge. But
Swirling cape, the swirling but rounded capes, often the hardest.
Yeah, I only I was more excited about painting the dragon head. I didn't give 2 shits about the dragon. And I think that shows, but
one of the best figures released in the last few years, I think. Well done, Bunny. Gold.
And for anyone who's looking for that figure, Robot Rocket.
Robot Rocket.
Comes
Yeah.
out in
Jimbo.
Yeah.
Jimbo Jones.
That's a Jim.
Jim.
Jimothy.
Jimothy. Still driving. Jeepers. It's a long drive from Brisbane to Sydney. Candy Chan. No. Aikido.
This was
Seagull.
my second Aikido. I don't
She's
know.
from Umbrella
Oh, the
Academy.
She
Neko.
is.
Here we go.
Yeah,
the
look at her
Neko
arm.
Wars.
There's an Easter egg on her other arm. Turn it around. Keep going. Ta-da! Evelyn.
There you
001.
go.
She's based off Evelyn. Because I replayed Biohazard.
Cool.
So
This is the second time you've painted this
second
model.
time I'm going to make this a yearly model for me. So Aikido was the very, very, very first model that I ever painted. It had a meltdown. And then I just wanted to see how much I've grown in a year. In regards to painting skin, stomach, metal.
I remember that figure that you painted had a denim jacket. I provided you
did.
feedback on it.
Yeah, she had a denim jacket and a Mononoke symbol on the back. This one also caused me to have a fucking meltdown, so don't know if I want to keep doing it every year, but you know.
Vast improvement, I think you
Yeah.
could say,
I
from
can-
figure to figure.
Only lay laurels at your feet for your uncanny ability to just keep painting Neko Galaxy models. Like we all like different subject material. No secret that for me, I find Neko Galaxy stuff really challenging. I love it.
Candy's my favourite.
I would love to be able to paint it, but Storm just has a knack for it, a bit of an affinity
Well, I
for painting
think
Neko.
so this is something I've observed, right? And I'll put this in here. Yeah, good one. Thanks, Top. Female skin is really, really hard for me.
Same.
And for you.
Same.
Yeah.
And for you.
I've had it.
And it's a breeze for you.
Yeah.
But you give me a wrinkly old man and I'll crush that.
that
I'll
You give
crush
me a
that in.
really big,
That is-
strong.
How do you go on wrinkly old man?
Then I painted a Cormac, and that was pretty good.
So
That was pretty decent.
What about a big, muscly dude?
Oh, you'll see that.
I wonder if there is something in that in the way that we look at objects and shapes. Don't know. G'day, Cryo Cheese. I'm not sure. But Bunny's an absolute master on human skin and female soft skin. So
Yeah.
this
Makeup
this is
makeup
awesome.
is
Is this a
also-
recent one? I don't know.
Yeah.
That I've...
Oh, she wasn't too recent. She was, a couple
She was a
months ago.
throwaway. She was pretty quick. That was.
This was a couple days, yeah.
What was it in between? It was in between something. It was you just
Oh,
you
it's
just
in
come
between,
off
like,
something big.
Yama.
Yeah, you just come off
I did
Yama.
it just
Yeah.
after Yama. Candy has a very, very, very special place in my heart.
It's your first model that you bought?
She was the first model I ever saw.
Yeah. Who's
So
Dave?
it was Dave and Arnell.
Yeah.
And that's when I realised that this is what I wanted to do. And because of the subject matter and stuff like that, I'm very big into cyberpunk
That
girls.
gun,
and-
man. That gun's humming from here.
Bunny.
No gun skin. No gun skin.
No gun skins.
That's
And
probably
this,
why she
this,
didn't win a medal.
this is the premier model for a gun skin.
Dude, she came with a big fuck
Yeah,
off gun.
on my one, I've got the big gun.
Nah.
Why did you? Yeah, I was going to ask. Why did you just small
Because I
felt
fucking
better,
hate
or you
painting
just
metal.
fair enough?
Yeah, she did.
From one gem from Bunny over to another gem from Benny. Good old Tolf Rivia.
I have this model and I have no fucking idea how to paint it.
I'd close the door, buddy. You'll have to wait. Sorry.
Geralt of Rivia from our friend
Torbjorn.
Aetholomew.
Torb.
Torb.
I just call him Torb for short.
Torbjorn.
Torbjorn
Wonderful
Barone,
sculptor.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
Yeah,
Barone, I
wonderful
think.
sculptor.
Beautiful sculptor.
He didn't make a lot of copies of this, or did he?
No.
So he had a few that he's handed out to all people who've purchased from him, but he had 2 left when I hassled aggressively.
Recent from you, isn't it? Probably the most recent.
No, Sheep. So he was
Sheep.
He was him.
So
Then it was
he
Sheep
goes
Rider.
just
So
behind.
this was after the Alchemist. So yeah, it went Alchemist, it went Geralt, and then it went Sheep Rider.
You did something different on the skin on this one, didn't you? Wasn't it? There was something that...
Yep, I started with a brown base tone,
Yeah.
mixed with a bit of blue, and
Yeah.
then I also tried
boy.
a
There he
lot
is.
of like
Hey, little baby Hugo.
a lot of glazing.
A lot of glazing.
A lot of glazing.
Hello,
Yeah.
man.
This was also the first one where I've tried to consider doing lighting different on the
this
chest and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Hugo stolen the show, as he does.
As he
He's
does.
won everyone over
As
very
he
quickly.
should.
Good
He's a
boy.
wonderful little dude.
Good boy.
Yeah, so different lighting.
Yeah, tried
Started
to,
with brown.
Yeah, I 100% copied the lighting from Athami's version of it.
Well
You
done.
almost
I
Latorre
nearly
built it.
Athami'd it, but yeah. So I copied the lighting from his because I was a big fan of his, and I wanted to try and replicate that as best as I could.
He's got quite a steamy expression, doesn't
yeah.
he?
He is a steamy
I'm
man.
ready. I'm ready to take a bath with him.
The hardest
I am
part for
always-
this
I'm
figure for me
always ready for
was
Kira.
I had the face done, and then I was like, I want to try and do a beard, but I have no fucking idea how to do a beard. And then I also wanted to try and do the scar, and I'd only done a scar once before
Yeah.
on Harold from Black Crow.
Yeah.
You've executed the skin and the hair, mostly the skin and the beard, really well.
The hair's the weakest, I think.
Hair's weak.
And the I found
and
the chest hair
chin-
to be-
Every other element is. It feels like it's just not anywhere near the same level of attention you've given the skin, but it makes the skin pop even more.
Yeah.
So it's a good piece.
He also didn't base this off Henry, even though the sculpt feels a lot like quite similar
No,
to
you
Henry
went video
Cavill's
game.
likeness. He went
I went
video
video
game.
game.
game, yeah.
Learning and improving each piece, Ben, and I think your next challenge is how do you incorporate saturated colours and how do you try and be less, what was the word I used before?
Wheat bits.
Sober.
Sober.
Goes against all my values.
Here is a Kingdom Death piece that you also painted, which unfortunately didn't receive anything. You just don't have an appreciation for how small these models are, do you? Until you paint them.
And not until you paint them. They are probably, I'd say the Kingdom Death stuff is the pin-up girls I've done is the most challenging to
Yeah,
to
they're
This
date.
Norman bust, which is tiny, is bigger than this.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's just say it. QMHE is about pick your subject matter at times, and that's we can just say that scantily clad. Yeah.
Well, no. So
Yeah.
it's less about pick your subject matter and more about which judge do you get at the time.
Yeah. Fair.
Because in the past, I've entered Kingdom Death models and done well. But I
But
think this
those
is
type
this,
of Kingdom
this
Death
is
models?
this is slightly controversial in terms of the aesthetic.
Yeah.
You're always going to be fish in a barrel when you.
And this is not the first time. This is Kingdom Death, right? Like Kingdom Death, sort of. This is how people split on Kingdom Death. They go down the middle on whether they think it's
Yeah,
too
love it
far
or
or
hate
not
it.
far enough. you
Yeah.
know?
This
Yeah.
is a pin-up butcher.
Yeah.
I
love this
she
model.
is an amazing figure. The butcher character in the game is
This is
awesome.
Ben's best skin.
Yeah.
It is, and yeah, there's no bad element to this, Benny. This is a really good figure.
Thank you, mate.
It's just small, isn't it?
It's fucking tiny, yeah.
And when you have something this small, it's really hard to grab attention. And this probably got unnoticed on the halls, the pages of QMHE because it's so small. I've painted this model.
Yeah.
This is an awesome model, one of my favourites.
White OSL.
It's Easter
Easter-
Bunny Aya, is it?
Think so, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I bought it ages ago, but
She's cool.
So
I buy Kingdom Death and I make Ben paint it all.
Yeah.
this was a exercise in trying to do white OSL and redeem myself from
an Ahsoka I did a while back where I
And
just...
you got it, buddy. You did. You
Yeah.
did redeem yourself. Because that stuff.
With the Ahsoka, I just put white ink in the airbrush and went...
Easter Twilight.
Easter Twilight, yeah.
For whatever reason, Ben, above all of us, has to live his failures, his past models that maybe he didn't get
can't,
right.
yeah.
He can't escape
He can't
them.
leave it.
You're reminded of them.
I remember arguing. That was
Constantly.
one of our. We normally don't argue like at all. And I remember like yelling at him that that's not how white OSL worked, and he's just like, "You don't know shit."
And I said, you don't understand
Because
lightsabers.
I don't understand light sources because I didn't paint at the time.
No, lightsabers.
Oh, lightsabers, yeah.
All right. We have only a few pieces left to go through. Let's go through another medal-winning piece.
Yes.
And then we will go
Showcase
to...
this terrible one before the good one.
All right. This is a really cool piece, and I'll zoom out so you can see the whole ensemble. And I will have to reduce this a little bit, isn't it, Deno? Some of your best. All right. This is Sarah from the Labyrinth and Dark Crystal Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Sarah and the Worm, I believe this is called.
Yes.
This is how you paint white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly how you
You
know.
got it.
You nailed the shirt on this, even when you were showing me earlier.
So when we walked past this the last time, Trent, we both agreed, I think, didn't we, that we thought that this may well be Storm's.
Well, I think this could be close to your best, but now that I've had a close look at all of your pieces, I think you've probably got a lot of things that could qualify as your best. Your,
Did you know I'm just the best painter?
yeah, you're probably not as good as me, but you're okay.
I mean, I did win those categories. You did.
You did. That's absolutely undisputable. Accurate.
Sour flan.
This is really really cool. Now, you got your little logo on the bottom left.
Yeah.
Boney.
Yeah, I painted the
I
backdrop.
haven't seen that on any of your others. Have you
On the
signed
back.
it?
Every single one of them.
Cool. That's great. I like that.
Yeah, no, I hand painted the back wall.
Yeah, this is great. I like the depth, the playing with depth, and because this piece is attached to a wall and then attached to another wall, you get a really nice.
And it's a girthy frame.
Dude, it's 2 frames hot glued together.
Yeah.
I janked that
But you
shit
know what?
so
I like it.
fucking bad.
When I saw it, I was like, "Well, that's chunky," and I was like, "Yeah, like it's loud, like it's."
I had to pretty much fucking cable tie that shit together.
And hey, look, this is something that's sort of starting to be a
I
thing.
painted
Adventure painting,
this
eh?
specifically for.
Did you?
It's good fun.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well,
If
then
you
I-
haven't done a frame,
If
It's
you haven't done a
beautiful
frame,
piece. Make sure that's not going to fall.
I would highly recommend you do a frame
So-
piece.
Trent and I haven't done frames.
I'd love to.
I'm going to do a frame.
I would love
Yeah.
to see a TD frame.
It's fun.
And
It's
I'd
a
love
lot
to
of
see
fun.
a frame from you. You know what I would love?
You want to see something like this in a frame?
I want to see a historical frame and just,
Okay.
you know.
What are you, Bus? Are
What's your
you?
obsession with historical frames, Ben?
Well, for Andy, I think I think
Andy's jam is historical. Isn't
same here.
Yeah.
I actually really like a lot of his historical stuff, and he talks to me about it quite a bit.
You're trying to get me out of the fantasy game, are you?
This could be the best piece, actually.
You reckon?
Yeah. Is this your most recent?
No.
It's beautiful.
She was my most recent is her sister,
The fawn.
the fawn who I turned into a cow, but I didn't bring it with me.
Can't skins and frames. Let's go.
That's a good idea.
No, I think this is probably up there. I like the highlight on the shoulder. Her skin is particularly
Yeah,
light.
spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very tasty piece all round. Hey, little buddy, you all right? All right, we have 2 pieces to go. That was the collection of Bunny. So, Bunny, you ended up with 2 golds and a silver.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding. Should have been 3 golds. Let's proceed.
Should have been, but I'm happy with 2.
Now we're going to look at Ben's version of the Spira Goblin, which I think impressed me more in the flesh than I expected, but also at the same time just made me go, come on, mate, why'd you do such a shit skin?
Well, look.
Three times on this skin, wasn't it?
Lime
yeah,
green
yeah,
isn't
right.
his wheelhouse.
This
This
was.
is supposed to be like that dude from Lord of the Rings, isn't it? The dude with the big melon face.
Pus face, I call
Pus
it.
face, yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name?
It's like, it sounds like when you got a booger stuck in the back, you're like, oh,
From what part?
The Return of the King. The dude
Oh,
on
Helen-
the
Gothmog.
That's it,
Gothmog,
yeah.
Yeah.
Gothmog.
New
On
model, I think,
your
coming
JRR,
out, yeah.
JIR Toshkian. I trust you when it comes to Gothmog. Well done, JIR Toshkian. And a good time to join us. Look, what a great example of your painting, Ben, and a great example of what you need to do to get better.
So if you remember this piece,
No.
the cloth. Well, okay, I definitely.
And I live
do.
with you and I don't.
Wow. The cloth around his head was incredibly textured. Early days. I stippled the shit out of that, and you specifically said, "This is hot garbage. You need to get rid of it," because his face was all messed up.
Yeah.
And then that was when I was like, "Oh yeah, true." So I smoothed it out and tried to change it up a bit, and I think that helped a lot.
You definitely did. Yeah.
And then I just cannot see goblins any other skin than green.
Yeah, I'm with you. I struggle.
Yeah, I love
G'day, Zolgrim.
Andes, but anytime I have to do an orc or goblin, I can't not do green.
I challenge.
G'day, Zolgrim. Zolgrim was at the event
Yes.
at the QMHE as well. So.
Yes. Now,
I have the medals in my bag.
yeah, grab a medal out and show them off.
Yeah.
So this is a great learning piece for you, I think, Ben, because you the medal's fantastic.
No,
Yeah, that became the sole focus, I think, towards the end.
Fantastic. And you did control that wrap. I think that wrap's great. I just think you did such a great job on those two elements that the rest of the elements really noticeably suffer because they're not as at that same high quality.
Yeah.
This didn't receive any award.
No.
This probably would come close to a medal at QM at Crimson Brush, I think. There's elements I like about the skin. Like I like the red tones in the shadows and stuff, but I just think the skin really needed to stand out more from everything else.
Yeah.
Like you needed to go way brighter, almost yellow.
Yeah.
To stand out from the crowd of non-metallic metal
Yeah. 100%.
and if you did
It's super bright compared to your skin.
Well, that's something I got getting to see Andy's in the flesh.
Yeah.
Really highlighted that for me, and how mine gets quite muddy and lost in there.
and that's the saturation, the control of that, and being able to throw some of that down. So we're going to show Andy's version of that in a second, but here's an example of some of the trophies that we received. A little Queensland Scale Model
This one's got my
Championship,
figure. Like,
QMHE.
up on
Yeah.
it.
And then we have figurines.
Really cool thing.
Fictional.
Really cool thing about the medals. They're actually sponsored by different individuals and some clubs and some military members and all sorts of
Yeah,
things.
that dude
Military.
didn't even give me his sponsor after hanging around me all fucking week.
I think that's exactly what he
Yeah,
gave you. Well,
that's
that was a
all
full sponsorship.
I got the full sponsorship, yeah.
Da-da-da.
Probably
Probably.
another goblin.
My
The piece that was the best in show.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
I feel bad that I got the gold in this category, or not.
No,
It was originally, it was all one category. We didn't know that they split the category
Yes.
at this point. And I felt really bad. Did this get anything?
No.
Yeah, I felt really, really, really bad
Hello,
that
All Might.
I got the gold and you didn't.
Okay. Well, you should not.
Because this is by far, like, this is like,
This is
Stunning.
tremendous. And if this was judged at Crimson Brush, we would have had slightly different placings.
Yeah.
But again, we look for different things, and this is probably the best thing you've painted. Maybe the Spartan actually, but this has got to be in the. G'day, Sir Frankie. Sir Frankel. No, I was not a judge. I entered in some of my pieces. So I think though that the one thing that I noticed when I looked at this one in the flesh, you've got a similar problem with Benny, just a little bit, that I reckon the skin and the face could have done with just a little bit more overall value to separate it from that super cool head wrap thing. And then I think I gave you some other feedback, the golds, the placement of the lights.
Yeah, some
not
slight
quite right.
misalignments.
Little tweaks. You know, you've got your light here, but then your light's probably not quite aligned in those.
Yeah.
elements, and, similar to this, but
How did we had a conversation where I finished my goblin, zapped the life out of me.
Yeah.
And how did you feel?
Yeah, the same. I mean, we talk about it's the post-Spirit Blues.
Yeah, we have...
Spirit, yeah, the PSBs.
Yeah.
When you paint a Spirit Mirabellus model, the one thing that I think Ben and I have agreed on the whole way through is that the level of like the distance you can go on a Spirit model is really up to you. Like the more you paint, the more you realize there's so much you can do. Every sculpt is so rich with a story. So yeah, and you really want to do them justice. So
you do. Yeah.
There is almost an expectation.
Have you done a Spiro? You own some?
Yeah, there's almost an. I'm just going to
do like the old
charge.
She did own one, but we made a good trade for it.
Yeah, she owned Troll.
I had the troll with the bunny.
And she gave it away
I
to
gave
Ben.
it to Ben.
I'm very sad about it.
To you?
To me.
What an absolute travesty.
I'm gonna...
But you said you'd paint it for me.
I am gonna paint it for you.
Taras,
Anything that I give him, he paints
a lot
for me.
of these works would vary in time from, probably a week.
I'm super quick where, like, sometimes these guys take...
I didn't bring my
I
charge.
think this one was about 2 weeks. What do you need, buddy? USB-C?
Yama took it.
Yeah, just a Samsung.
Yama took me a while,
Just,
but all the other girls took me, like,
in
a
there.
couple days.
Yeah.
Just go in there.
But yeah, no,
Yep.
I
Turn
felt...
the light on.
Yep.
Beside my computer, the black cable.
Yeah, this one here, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no,
USB-C.
I felt really bad getting the medal in this category when this was in there. Like, I felt fucking horrible.
Every event that you go to, there'll be pieces where you go, jeepers, this is incorrectly judged, but yeah, I always like to keep in mind judges look for different things. What I value isn't always the same.
Goblins need more nipples. That's what.
So yeah, I wasn't at the event at this point. So what happened? They had judged it, then
They
split
judged
it and
it.
rejudged
They judged it the Saturday night when we were leaving. That's when they all started.
Yeah. So
But
but
I don't know when they split it.
They split it that night.
yeah, okay, cool. So
But
this
I-
would have got put into
Into Monster.
into Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that wouldn't have been against
I
yours.
just
No,
think
no,
that
but
these...
when I came in the morning
Yeah.
and I saw, because they didn't say on the table that the categories had been split.
Oh, okay. So
It
you were
was
just
still the
you
same
thought,
table,
yeah,
just some of my models were turned around.
Yeah, gotcha. So you.
I just think these are different things that they're looking for. Those judges were looking for than what we look for.
Yeah.
So that's all. Taras, no, I don't think anyone at this table is doing painting as a full-time job.
No.
I would probably kill myself.
Bit full on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, this was my favourite piece of the weekend.
I agree.
I love it. I would like to have its babies, if I could. Even this bent shaft here.
We'll get that all cleaned up.
It doesn't look bent on camera, but if you flip it from behind and upside down, you'll see it.
Yeah.
No, I reckon.
No,
Andy,
it's off.
I reckon Andy's gobbo.
Yep.
Well, I mean, this is the one that won.
Yeah, got a gold.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So what did you enjoy most about the weekend, friends? What was your favourite thing?
My friends.
That's nice.
It's the first time that I've ever really had friends who meant quite a lot to me. And the fact that we've been all talking for 2 years?
Yeah. You
And it
guys
was
are a little bit
finally
longer,
getting
yeah.
to meet everyone in person, but then also I wanted to help Team Stonebeard. I wanted to help Stonebeard Jim and Ree to try and really push it in a historical sort of situation.
Yeah, I think we
But
get
it was
asked a bit
just-
what Team Stonebeard is, so we should probably really clarify. It's nothing more than just some friends who got together,
I
shared a
started
passion, and yeah,
as a joke.
as a meme, really.
I
Yeah.
hijacked Jim and Ree's brand for some unknown reason, and we turned it into a fake esports team. I think that's how it started.
that's how
We
it
said we were
started.
going to do esports painting.
Yeah.
And then Team Stonebeard just grew from there, and we've all just really come close in the last couple of years to the point where I can say this group of people, including Jim and Ree, are now probably some of my closer and best friends that I've had. And it was just really fun seeing everyone and actually meeting these people who you've been talking to for over a year. For instance, me and Andy.
Yeah.
We
Peaceful.
live 3 suburbs away from
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
We finally met in Brisbane, or
We spent a lot of time together in,
Online.
online in the COVID periods, and we continue. We spent
Yeah.
a couple of nights
and
a
it
week
was
at
also
least.
getting to meet Deno in person. A lot of my
Yeah.
stuff, I think, you can see in my painting is a little bit of a reflection of you because I've watched you paint this whole 2 years.
I think
year and a
Trent
half.
has a really huge influence.
I mean, look
on,
at the backs of all my models. Tell me
the-
how many of the backs are fucking painted.
Yeah.
You don't need to paint the backs, mate. Look at them from the front.
Paint what you want to paint.
Paint what you want to paint.
We
mate.
should say it's not just us three and sort of Trent. There's also obviously Jim and Ree.
Jim and Ray, Jared.
And Jared, and of
Jub
course
Jub.
Jub and
Mole
Moleman,
Man,
who
yeah.
does a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. With
All
us,
it is a collection of people that got together online during COVID, talked about a shared passion, or in some cases just talked about magic tricks and card shuffling.
Yeah.
And
Literally.
Philodendrons.
Philodendrons.
Yeah.
Stupid memes of okay, let's go.
and had a wonderful time getting to
Yeah.
know each other.
Yeah.
It's all it is, I think. But what we do want to do next year is do a club stand for Team Stonebeard.
I
We shall be
think
doing,
so.
and we won't be a
The thing is,
team.
I can't wait
Yeah,
to
we'll be
see
clan at that time.
everyone's reactions to what I have planned for
Yeah.
Stonebeard next year.
So
I'm excited.
I'm going to be their marketing and merching.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this fella.
What was your
Yeah, we
takeaway,
love- we
Ben?
love you
What was
too,
your
Jim.
takeaway?
We love you too, Jim. My takeaway was
And
it
Riri.
was just really fun to compete in an event that wasn't for children,
which Ben
and
still
which I
can't
still
win.
haven't
I've
won yet.
won
so
twice. Mole Man's won.
this is my year. No, but it was really fun to. For me, the highlight was getting to show my work to my friends
Yeah.
and see what they think, and get their opinions. And I've learnt that I can't take photos, but also just like the environment. I was just jazzed to talk about models with guys all weekend.
You just get to talk all weekend to people that are excited about models.
100%,
Sometimes
yeah.
people that you
It's-
don't want to talk to about
Yeah.
pigments, but other times.
Yeah.
Oh,
like I would
Plastic
say,
pigments of all things too, not
No,
like,
it was
not like
plastic
soft
pigments,
pastel
yeah.
pigments.
Plastic
like
pigments, rotten tooth.
yeah. So no, it was fun just
Some
talking about
specimens in that
models.
team.
Yeah.
Didn't Wes win the Child's Award at Crimson? Wes did.
And it was fun just
Give it to Ben next
seeing a lot of work in person. Like that's
That was the fun part.
Do you know what I thought was really cool?
Yo, spirit music.
The thing that I thought that was pretty cool was watching for you two, like watching you experience what I had experienced for the first time at Crimson Brush 6
Yeah.
months ago.
Yeah.
And it's to watch someone realise that the stuff that they're super passionate about belongs, right?
yeah,
Like-
yeah, that was a big thing.
I made all those prints.
Well, because we've only had each other's work to look at, and then
Yeah.
we've both purchased a model from Trent, and that was it.
Yeah,
like,
that
we hadn't
was-
seen anyone
I like
else's
how the models
stuff.
that we both purchased are very us as well. Like you bought a Spira and I bought an Inu.
Yeah, and the,
Yeah.
the conversation is for another
You
time.
should, Bunny's mum. Get
Yeah.
The conversation is for another time about in the hand painting versus photo painting because they're worlds apart.
So different.
We've
Oh,
established
right.
that this side of the table right here, we suck at taking photos.
Yes, us.
I don't
well,
take my photos.
no.
Do you want to see one photo that
Yeah.
I took on my phone? Right.
Yeah, but you don't get
This
to
is-
back out of it because you
Okay,
get Ben to
yeah.
take all
I
the
was gonna
photos.
You
say,
take
yeah.
all my
Right.
photos, and I'm realizing now that I
Yeah.
probably should fire Ben.
You can't throw me under the bus because she's lazy and
Yeah.
doesn't want to do it.
I'll show you
So
some
that's the
cameras.
photo.
But-
That's the
but
photo I took of mine.
Yeah,
You can
That's a
you
good
can
photo.
purchase a camera like this
Yeah.
I took that
for
from
about
mine.
$400.
Yeah.
Is that
This will take.
is that
stunning.
better than what Ben?
Is that better? Is she here?
No,
Then I can't answer that question.
Yeah.
no, but I mean like photo wise, is it better than Ben's photo?
100% no.
The problem is, and this is a phone problem.
Yes.
Over sharpen,
Yeah.
over contrast.
It
Yeah.
does,
And you
yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
And then you
turn
try to
those
correct it.
settings
You
off,
try to correct
And you
it.
just
yeah.
cook the photo
and it's just
immediately.
it's rubbish.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So the way I see it is that Bunny just like rattles off a piece, and then it's like a
You literally see it as
and
well.
the paper just goes
I'm
over the
just-
shoulder,
I'm
and then
just
it's
like,
just
I'm literally
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Ben.
Yeah, yeah.
so
Take it.
so what we need to do is get your photography to reflect better the models that you've painted.
Well,
Yeah.
I've got some JB Hi-Fi vouchers I still haven't spent, so I might
Hello.
pop it instead of buying headphones.
Who we
I
got
might
with the
get it.
Star Wars?
G'day Pegasus PSN and Good Tunes.
G'day.
Hello, welcome. Tomato Bacon, Spirit Musk. I have no idea what you do. Let's go and have a quick look. Actually,
Let's just go see.
yeah. What do you do? Spirit,
Oh.
Spirit music. It does not
I
Spirit
believe
Musk.
you're on the
Do you
way
remember
out.
Ant
Spirit
Music?
Musk. Spirit music. Spirit Musk. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing?
Vancouver.
Oh, it's only available to subscribe. You doing covers of songs, is it? All right.
If you could do a cover, Spirit, of What About Me
What
by
about
Shannon
me
Knoll.
by Shannon
There's a
Knoll?
little boy waiting at the counter of a corner shop. He's been waiting down there, waiting out the day.
Never ever seen him from the top.
He's been pushed around, knocked to the ground. Anyway, we do a bit of singing as well. So,
What about me?
and your takeaway? Did I get on to you?
No, yeah. So second event for me, just going to repeat the same thing really. Time with friends. You really look forward to the build up to it. I was actually super excited for this moment, to be honest. To sit down and
it is nice to reflect.
Yeah.
It is nice to sit down afterwards and just
Yeah.
you know, the anticipation and the excitement. You only place for it. The excitement of the events died off, and you just get to appreciate.
yeah.
We have a thing. We have a saying in the Warhammer and War Machine group. Used to call it post-tournament depression.
Yeah.
Right. PTD.
Yeah.
And you'd get to the end of a tournament or a competition, and you'd be so jazzed and so hyped for that period of time that when you reach the end of the weekend, you're so sad.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm quite frankly more excited for the next year because I really want to try different categories. I need to win more medals.
The difference between a War Machine and Warhammer event is you get home and you can't do anything.
No,
Yeah.
that's
But
exactly it.
this event and these
It
all
just
you want
kicks
to do
my ass into
is
gear for the
let's
next
go paint.
year.
You just want to paint.
Yeah.
I got a model assembled over on the desk over there.
Yeah, ready
because
to
I'm
go.
I'm ready
Mine's
to go.
like I've got
I'm sure.
crimson
Are we doing?
ideas
Hey, are we
going,
going to be
I've
doing
got-
Spirit Sunday?
Spirit Sunday, it's happening.
For me, it's that the big one for me was to watch you guys just like we've been along the journey together. So
Yeah.
to see you guys be able to go and really be like fuck yeah, this is where it is.
Yeah, 100%.
That was really awesome. So
I am glad you had a good time. For me, QMHE, I've been going to that event for probably 7 or 8 years, and you're actually the first people to come and attend it. I've asked everyone. I've asked Colwell.
Yeah.
I've been like, come along, it's a great time.
Yeah.
It's a cool little event. Come along.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that I just said fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ask every motherfucker. No one comes. It's
Well,
like,
we
it's,
do.
It's in Ipswich, man. Who wants to go to fucking Ipswich? But yeah. It's not Spirit Sunday, Spirit of Music.
Spira.
It's Spira.
Spira.
So there's a brand of miniature manufacturing that makes models like this called Spira Mirabilis, which is this little logo here. And we're all going to paint
These two?
Spira models.
these
on
two were
Sunday.
done. These two were done for Spirit Sunday. So maybe there's something
I
to
think
it.
it's
eh?
one
Yeah.
Spirit Sunday every month.
Yeah,
I think you guys cut it. Yeah.
About 6
It's
days.
too much. Yeah.
This one's an interesting one because
Jared's almost finished his Cormac. Send
Yeah.
some photos,
Oh,
mate.
well done.
We'll bring it up
Yes.
on stream.
Yeah.
Send a photo right now.
This
Put it
I
on
love
the
this
Discord.
Cormac because Cormac's really nice.
this one got railed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of things to say about the event.
About that one,
I'm
yeah.
just not going.
G'day,
I'm just not
Hey,
going.
Coulter.
To.
Shot of paint water on IG. That's in the Discord. That's not.
Yeah.
Put a photo somewhere, Jared, that we can look at it. Yeah, your mum does live in Ippy.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
G'day, Erdnot. Welcome, mate.
She
Thank
has
you.
no
Was
choice.
nice to meet you as
Also,
well.
yeah.
Erdnot entered a piece. Well done.
But yeah, for my first event, I think we did pretty well. Very happy with it. A lot of interesting people.
Look,
But
I've
it was
said many
good.
times about this
It was
hobby.
fun.
We attract an interesting type of people.
Yeah.
Wish we didn't.
Look at you. Look at me. Look at him.
We're all unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice that we can share something.
Well, that's
that
what I
we
mean.
like.
We're all different. We all paint different things. We all
So I
have
guess
different painting styles and stuff like that, and it's just something that we all
yeah.
congregate.
I think something to add to it all is like with being able to see you guys at the first one, there is probably so many people out there who can't find that courage to go to an event, and we've got one coming up, and it's going to be massive. I think it's going to be a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
Shannon Knoll's gonna be there.
Shannon Knoll will be there as a caveat.
Get back and see
Um,
little
But
people.
if you've sat on the fence about coming along to an event and you're in our area,
Go.
please come.
It's a lot of fun. The painting is almost secondary.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
Well, it is
It's
secondary.
It's meeting everyone. Like, I think that was just the biggest thing for me was, yeah, there was a lot of characters, but it was mostly just being able to spend a lot of time with everyone after talking for all these years, meeting everyone in person, and
Chucked it in
felt,
whip.
what? Oh, have you not seen my Eddie tattoo?
Eddie tattoo, yeah.
And I've got Vic Nossi right there.
He's
but
got
yeah,
one in whip now, apparently.
All right, we're bringing it up now.
Let's go.
I like the way you wiggle. It bowls.
Abby just sings that song flat out now
I
because they
used
turned
to
it into
for
a song,
very-
right? Yeah.
My money don't
I liked it
jiggle
when it was
jiggle.
TikTok cool. Now it's a
I'm
Jason
looking
Derulo
I'm
song.
looking for window capture. Yeah,
That guy's a predator.
Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo.
He's fucking
So I had a chat to Jared
Yeah,
about
but
this
I
when we were in Queensland.
Whoa.
Well, I'm still in Queensland, but when Jared was here with us.
Oh, there's still a little bit of Bobby does.
What do you reckon this was inspired by, Trent? If I gave you one hot shot.
Big Dano.
Are you
Looks
serious?
exactly like you.
No?
I think he told me about
Yeah.
this, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
it's,
the old...
Jared's a fucking nuffy of Warhammer. Eh? He loves it.
Yeah.
All right, we look at this. Can't really see your head, Ben, but you can move slightly to the left.
he's
Yeah.
a fire.
Hey, Bucks, you go to the right and we can get it all in there. Hey. Rock and roll. Yeah, all right. I want to have a closer look at this little fellow. Ooh, tasty treats.
He's based off like a fire...
Flaming staff too, which is really nice.
Fire wizard.
Is that a Star Wars Rebels logo there?
No, it's a little flame.
It's a little bit, but I think it's a flame.
It's a
It's
thing.
a little flame, yeah. He's a fire wizard from memory.
And the leaves are...
Gonna be on fire.
Yeah, they are. I think it reads better in person. I think that's what
Reminds
Jared-
me of Duergar, sort of like that ashen skin.
Does
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
much does, yeah.
Very cool.
It's no secret, is it, that Cormac is really beloved by us.
Airbender and Fire Nation, awesome.
Yeah.
Fire Nation.
So yeah,
So
Cormac
cool.
was probably the first thing I think Team Stonebeard all bonded over. That
What are
was-
we going to paint next?
The next-
It was Ally, whatever.
Can we have a
Alright.
discussion about
Yeah,
this
that
before
was-
we
No,
just
I
like?
want to paint her.
Well,
Yeah.
you can
It's
paint
my.
it.
I did. No, it's my turn.
You-
We said that it was my choice to choose the next.
Yeah, but
role,
we
I'm
haven't
choosing
polled
that.
it.
We-
We haven't
yeah, we
polled it
did
No,
yet.
no,
Alright,
no. This is
can I
not
make-
how. This is
can
not how
I-
we started this,
Look,
these
Team
challenges.
Stone, by the way, just get a little bit of this going. Now look,
Yeah.
no, I've already painted Ally,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so it can't
so
be done.
I
Can't be
haven't.
that.
and I've already painted Cormac, and
Yeah.
I didn't get to participate in either of those challenges.
Cormac wasn't a challenge.
Alright, I
Cormac
didn't
was
get to
something.
Cormac's the rite of
That's
passage.
it's a rite of
So you're,
passage.
what you want to pick is what you're saying.
No, I don't want to pick, but I just don't want to do something I've
Yeah.
done before.
Yeah, that's
Ah.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, so we've got what? Only future months to look forward to.
Just
Thanks,
new-
mate.
new releases.
New releases only.
It's just because like I don't paint things.
That's the point of the
That's the
challenge.
point of the
No,
challenge.
no. I know because we said that I get to choose this next one.
You choose.
You
if,
choose.
if it's Ally, I will happily not paint
And
it and
I
just
don't-
submit my already painted one.
I don't paint the same subject matter. As
So yeah, you pick something different.
Pick I support whatever you pick. If you pick Ally, I will tell Bucks to suck it up. Done. Ally it is. We're doing it.
that.
I'll do
Or
a
do you
second one,
reckon? What
actually.
about the elf lady by the same brand? The one that Arnell did, the silver.
No, I think that's a different one, isn't it?
No, she's by the same brand, isn't she?
No, I think.
How
that's
about let's
different.
get a little historical in the mix, eh? You know?
That's the Andy
That's
challenge.
the Andy challenge.
Oh,
No,
now.
we'll make you pay this.
Arnell Lazaro.
I'm gonna.
Let's-
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
he did
yeah,
the really like ethereal.
Mother Nature.
Mum loves.
Hey,
it.
let's
Mum
let's
loves
let's
it.
throw. Hey, shall we just throw some stuff up in the chat and see what the chat thinks? We don't have to take the chat's advice. Like
Do
we
you
don't have
guys
to.
just not trust? You just really don't fucking want to paint her.
I trust.
No. I'm happy. I'll paint whatever you choose.
Me and Reed were
But
really
to
want
be interactive with everyone along, we can bring up
This
some
one?
images and see
Yeah.
what people
Ah,
Yeah. Because I almost chose her.
Ugh.
She's a tricky model, man.
Yeah, no thanks.
think. Where is the crinkly face? Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I would not. ugh.
You're waving a red rag to
Yeah.
Will.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm gonna do my own.
All right, so
challenge.
put this in the mix. Yeah, this is in there. Eli's in
Because you
there.
guys will do fucking Spirit Sunday and shit like Bunny Shine for one moment.
I agree.
Please.
I agree.
But
What
I
about
maybe
this?
I
Spirit
was
Sunday is
thinking
just-
her.
I
was-
do.
what
Yeah,
about
Athena?
this?
Yeah, I can do Athena.
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 But yeah, you guys will do fucking Spirit Sunday and fucking gobbos and shit. Let Bunny have her fucking moment.
Let Bunny's time to shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A wonderful one painted by Miniature Dan recently.
Let's go look at Mini Dan.
A fellow streamer.
No, we've just lost the keyboard, so we shan't be.
People just kind of in and out.
Well, no, I've plugged it into the wrong USB
Ah,
thing,
okay.
and it's hard to change it, so I just give it up.
All right, so I mean, overall, listen. All right, this is where Andy's going to take over for a little bit now. I'm going to take over for a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to talk to Trent now about Trent's achievements over the weekend. So, I believe us, we had 19 medals come away with us. Trent, you took 7 away, and you also took a best in show away as well.
I did, didn't I?
You
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
Which was, of course,
The
the
Gates of
wonderful Gates of
Hyperborea.
Hyperborea.
Indeed.
Gates of Hyperborea, interestingly enough, didn't actually win its category, but it did win
People's
the
Choice
crowd
Best in
vote,
Show.
People's Choice Best, and People's Choice Best in Show.
Yes.
So, congratulations,
Thank you.
well earned and well deserved. I think
I agree.
all of us were along the way for that one. I think it's always pretty astounding to see these monstrous dioramas that Trent invests in.
They
It's
are.
made me want to do a diorama.
They are more ridiculous than you can imagine.
Yeah.
Streaming.
Seeing them in person, there's
Yeah.
just so much going on that you actually don't really see in photos.
Yeah,
There
100%.
there are 2 elements that you don't get at all from the photos or even the videos, and one of them is how tight the composition is. Hyperborea's composition in real life versus in photo is very different.
I can't remember what beat it.
I didn't even. I'll be honest. I actually
no,
didn't
it
even
was,
look.
it was the little war scene.
They
had a horse.
it shouldn't have.
I don't remember.
So yeah, I think being that it didn't take the highest accolade in its category, but then received the highest accolade of the show, is strong redemption for that piece.
There was a very cool diorama that had a dragon on some rocks with some knights charging
Oh, it
up.
was a dragon, not a horse.
Yeah, not to take anything away from what did win.
It was cool.
It was cool.
I liked it. No, this is something. Yeah, I think photographing this and even seeing it on stream, it's really hard to capture the immensity of it.
Yes.
And I almost think like you have to see how much effort goes into it.
Oh yeah.
And you don't like you look at that and you go,
You're
oh,
like,
that's
oh, yeah,
cool.
that's
There's
cool.
some cool models and stuff, and then
You
but
see it in
see
person
it
and
and
it's
you're
just
just
like
like,
overwhelming. You
what
don't
the
know where to
fuck?
start. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I mean, it stops. The best way to probably describe it stops people in its tracks.
It does,
right?
100%.
People stop when they see it.
Bye, Jared.
Like,
see you, Jared.
see you, Jared. For a lot of these here, for a lot of people who don't know what this is,
Say hi to Chloe and the other one for me. I can't remember the other one's name. Sorry, mate.
for a lot of people who don't know what this is, they might get a night stop by. They're very colourful. They attract people for that, but they don't stop people in its tracks. Hyperborea does that, and so there's something to be said about that. And so, congratulations again
Thank you.
on a fantastic result. Interesting on some of the other ones. You had 2 vignettes there.
I am very, very pleased that you all got to attend and received awards for all of your hard work. I don't go to that event for my own gratification anymore.
No.
I've won enough medals in my life that
You want to talk
winning
about
awards.
You want
is
to talk
not-
about a 3-peat?
I was upset about the 3 people that happened. I was spewing. But do you know why I was spewing? Because it was my fault.
Yeah.
Because I entered 15 models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When in that previous 12 months I'd painted about 45.
You could have entered 40. if
I
you
could have
wanted to.
entered enough
Yeah.
models to win the entire event, every
Yeah.
medal at the event,
Yeah.
but I didn't. So
Yes.
that's what upsets me. It's not that someone else did
No,
better than
of
me.
course
it's
not.
that I could have
You
done.
let yourself do it.
I let myself do it.
For everyone else, Trev was shooting for a 3-peat
I was
for a
going
modeler
for
on the
3P
show
last year, but I didn't get it. So anyway, now look, yeah, I don't. It's cool for me for you guys to come up and compete and see the competition and be a part of it, but. Yeah, I get more value out of looking at your models and talking and sharing ideas and and being around like-minded people, because ultimately painting is a very solitary hobby.
It's a very personal thing. Yeah.
And being able to share that is nice.
Well, I'm going to go against it now, actually. I'm going to say that is it as solitary in this day
It
and
is
age
for
as it
me.
once was?
It is for me.
It's
Still?
for me still.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I mean,
I
spend
don't
a lot
want
of
it to
time.
be something,
Yeah.
because if I'm doing something else, I'm not putting all of myself into the
Sure.
painting.
Gotta put your full pussy into
But you
Yeah,
we
full
can't
pussy.
deny
Full
that, you know,
pussy.
that
I think there's a combo for me. Like,
Yeah.
I like, because we obviously hang out a lot, but when I want to, like, for the sheep rider, the hardest stuff
I had to be.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
you have to be
Yeah.
by yourself. But I think we there is more to that conversation. I think that there are times where it's
streaming
Yeah.
and so forth has made me a worse painter,
yeah,
but also a quicker painter.
Yeah.
yes,
So it's
and a better teacher.
probably.
Yeah. I learnt pretty much everything from you. Like, a lot of my stuff. When I first started painting, just by watching you. I remember watching your Wind Rider. And, like, all your
It's had a
airbrush
massive,
and...
massive impact
yeah.
on the way that I perceive painting.
It's an interesting position to be in.
Because, yeah, I don't think I would have started painting if we hadn't started watching your streams. Because Ben's been trying to get me into it for years.
Yeah,
Years and years and years and
Sometimes
years.
there's
And
just a
it
catalyst,
just
isn't
wasn't
there?
clicking with me.
yeah.
Just
No,
it was
You
it
never
was,
faced.
Well, we're
Kevin.
not here to
Yeah.
blow smoke, but we are like you can't not say the things that are true.
Yeah, and
Sure,
that's the thing.
sure.
It's like seeing, because you painted Neko and stuff like that before as well. We have very similar tastes in some models, in KDM and all that kind of stuff. So I senpai dinner. That's disgusting, Mum. But yeah, like, I don't think you made it fun.
Well, that's that. If you ask me, what is my number one truth about painting? It is that it's fun. You have
Yeah.
to make it fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
You
why
made
you do
it fun.
Love it.
Party
Yeah, just
Mondays
do
is
it.
what was like. I used to come
Do
home
it
from
because
work.
you love it.
Yeah.
Don't do it because you want to win medals. Don't do it because you want to.
Yeah.
And
have
hey,
fun.
and because you love it, do it when you don't feel like doing it. That's the thing.
Well,
to a degree.
a degree.
I
I
refuse to
won't-
paint if I don't feel
won't-
like painting.
We're
won't
different.
fully-
We're special.
They're fucked. They're
won't
cooked.
fully get behind that.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I don't feel like doing it and I sit down and do it, it makes
Yeah.
me feel better
Yeah.
because I love it.
Yeah.
I love painting.
So
I wanna paint.
procrastination has been something that's been attached to this hobby for a really long time, right? And it's a continual barrier that has to be fought through
That
for a lot of
aggravates the
people.
fuck out of me.
I know it does. And so that's what I'm talking about when it's like, how many times do you say you have to choose painting?
Correct.
That's what I'm talking about.
But you have to choose painting when you're sitting down at the table. You have to choose
Correct.
to put your phone down and do it for 4
Yeah.
hours or just, you know.
When you're looking at the TV.
But that's a separate conversation.
Yes.
Having fun is the number one goal for
Absolutely.
me. And when I've had a couple of people, you know, European painters that I talk to, you know, they're like, oh, Darren, you know, this is great, but why don't you do X, Y, Z? And I don't do that because I'm not trying to win medals. I'm not trying to like compete. I'm not trying to present my works as the absolute pinnacle of artwork. What I'm trying to do is enjoy the
Yeah, have
time
fun.
that I have,
Yeah, 100%.
you know, in my life, spending it doing things I'm excited about. And
Yeah.
so
I get that too.
I'm
This
doing
is-
crazy dioramas and cool
Yeah.
because it's like little Deno when he was a little fella would look at that and sort of stuff and just go, "That's the fucking coolest! I want to do that
One day I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm doing it one day.
So yeah, I mean, Mozzo, you can
Nah, I get it.
definitely paint to pick up chicks.
Works
It's
for
worked
me.
for all of us so
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
Yep. Type of meditation. Yeah, I mean, painting's always been a cathartic process for a lot of people.
For me, this is the first time I've gone through and Ben's watched this over the last 10 years, and Mum can account for it as well. I've gone through so many different types of art, right? I've drawn my entire life, like portraits, anime, everything. I've drawn my entire life. I used to do music. I used to do crochet. I used to do knitting. I used to
You've done a lot of things.
cosplay. I do makeup and all this kind of stuff. And this is the canvas, like everything. There is no medium that I haven't done, but this is the first time it's clicked with me.
And it's evident.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've finally felt like I look at my work and I don't hate it as much as I do.
Good. Just if the only piece of advice you ever take away from me is paint because you love it,
Yeah.
I will be happy with my
Yeah.
influence on our
people.
community.
Yeah.
Some people don't have the same perspective. Some people think that you need to brutalise yourself and
Flagellate.
flagellate and absolutely deliver the best possible thing you can paint every time. And I say more power to those people if that is how they want to spend their time in their life. I am
And
too old.
we wrap our arms around those people as
Too
well. And
grumpy.
maybe, yeah.
I just want to have fun.
I'm
Yeah,
a
I
bit
just
of the Da
paint
Vinci
whatever
Code man
I
in
want.
me.
Yeah, you got a bit of Da Vinci Code.
I love
man.
a bit of Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, a
man.
little bit.
Just,
But that's okay. You know, I think if you want to be pushing yourself to be better, that's an
Yeah.
admirable achievement. And I intend on pushing myself this year to paint something that is because I'm inspired by these works to want to continue to be better than you and inspire you, right? In the same way that you've inspired me. So,
Yeah, which I mean,
because probably the things that I do aren't really achievable for the majority of painters.
I mean, there may be me.
You could do it.
I'll get there one
You could
day.
do it.
I'll
You could do
step
it.
up.
I don't think he was referring to us.
I already
I
said
think he
I'm
was talking
coming for you.
Hyperborea, right? Yeah.
I'll get there.
So yeah, like I guess we can go into. Is there any particular pieces you want to see more of? Or?
It's open to the chat if you want to see any specific works. We're happy to bring them up. But I do want to talk a little bit about Crimson Brush now before we wrap up, and a couple of super exciting announcements. So post in the chat if there's any models you want to have a closer look at. So Crimson Brush is the Australian painting competition. I think that for fantasy painters probably is the most well known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Most-
like the event. For
Yeah,
it.
probably our most prestigious event.
Yeah.
It's also the only one, so
Yeah.
that allows it to be very prestigious.
Yes.
It's held in January on the Australia Day long weekend in Canberra, and it's held at CanCon. So this year will be the second year of the Crimson Brush. Previously it was called the Crystal Dragon painting competition. We rebranded through COVID, so the Crimson Brush, it's hopefully going to be a really exciting year for it. So we're going to have, intent is to have a live stream pretty similar to this, running for the majority of the weekend. So we'll have Bucks hosting the event, and he will be interviewing Australian painters, talking
Organisers.
to organisers and
Judges.
and also the vendors. Stonebeard, obviously big sponsor of Crimson Brush, will be there, and just giving as many people as we can an insight into our community,
Yep.
the Australian painting community, and our little event. Now, I talk a lot about Monty and SMC because they've been so influential in the way that I look at painting. So it's cool to be able to share our version of those events to a wider audience.
Absolutely.
And I don't think, aside from the coverage at Monty, which was hosted by Vincenzo Miniden,
It was, yeah.
which was unreal.
It was.
And that's been partly the inspiration for wanting to do a little bit more.
Oh, you do it too.
just interrupt.
Sorry. I didn't realise he's got his little logo until
Yeah,
he shows
he
up.
does it on. That's good. No, interrupt away. I blather
This is
sometimes.
my
so.
show.
No,
This
no,
is my
no.
show.
So
Yeah.
it'll be really, really cool. So definitely would love to see as many people attending that event as we can. Last year, obviously with COVID, we had some COVID impacts and we didn't have a huge turnout in terms of number of entrants. In previous years, we would expect sort of 50 or so individual different painters.
Yes.
And this year we didn't. I think we had 15, maybe 16, which is totally understandable given the situation at the time. We had Omicron running wild, and
Yeah, we were in
Didn't
it. We
get
were in a
COVID
dire
and
shape. I think there was a few more. It was about 20 or so that entered, but there was a lot of entries.
yeah,
that
we had,
came
we, had a,
through,
we had a good
yeah.
turnout of entries. So, but what I would love to do this year is smash the previous records that Crystal Dragon and Crimson Brush has held for number of entries.
Yeah.
And we really want to also invite people into that process. So last year we live streamed the judging, and I think good takeaways from that, good learnings. We had a
Yeah.
lot of great feedback. So this year we will have Dave Colwell, who was last year's winner of the event, participating in the judging. So I will probably take more of a back seat and allow the two good painters to actually judge, David and Sebastian. And allow them to speak about the figures and then just give them a little gentle nudge every now and then about where they're wrong.
Just a small one.
Gentle and Deno are two interesting words, aren't they? Which is, does gentle go on either side of Deno?
But I think the reason I want to touch on that is it's such a really powerful tool that event has, because we don't have 4,000 entries like Scale Model Challenge or
No.
World Model Expo. We only have a small judging group, but for us to be able to provide individual tailored feedback to painters
That's our
around their
advantage.
pieces is something
Huge.
that's pretty special, and it's something I'd like to really push this year to help our little community grow.
Yeah.
Further to that, we should, at this stage, it's all pretty much locked in now, have an international guest painter coming along to the event to also potentially judge.
Which is incredibly exciting.
Yes, and we'll also be teaching some classes across Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne in January and early February. So that's Natalia, who was on the stream a little earlier. Natalia Orach. Pretty sure I got that right, by the way. If you're Polish.
Yep.
I actually asked Polish
yeah,
half of the family the right way to pronounce it. That seemed.
So yeah, Orach Art on Instagram. Someone can probably post a thing. I might even try and grab it now. And she is extremely excited about coming over. Actually, I think I'm showing to her in here. I might just go and have it.
And we are extremely excited to have it.
Yes, great. So here is her Instagrams. Paste.
If you're still here, Natalia, please bring Kirst.
Natalia will not be bringing Kirst. She does not have it anymore. Here's Natalia's Instagram. She is one of my all-time favourite painters. She rocketed up the Big Dano list of rankings last year. She's probably in my top 5 now of painters in the world.
As soon as you showed me, I immediately was just like...
Yeah, geeked out.
Yeah, like immediately.
Let's get my head out of here so we can see. I'll just get Andy out of it.
That's fine.
So this is Natalia, and she's just got a wonderful control of colour and does things in a completely different way to how I do it, how many people do it. You know, this colour use in this area is just like,
Yeah, it's nuts.
I ping for it. So we'll see if we can find my favourite piece that she's ever painted. Natalia
It's not too
is
far
going
down
to be
there.
competing. This is fantastic, by the way. Natalia's going to be competing at Monty later on in the year, and then she's going to be hopping on a plane in early January to come over and teach classes and hang out at Crimson Brush with us. So this is the piece that's in my collection, which is face-meltingly good, and it'll be really, really great to have her teaching some classes. So we will, when I say we, I mean I, will be going ham on promoting the event. Tickets for her classes will be announced on Oz Painters and my Facebook, and other people will probably share it all over the place. It will be first in, best dressed, as it so often is in our painting world. So keep an eye out for that, and definitely get tickets early because they will sell.
They will go very fast. Yeah.
She's like by far one of my favourites.
But if a private class, if getting into that all fails, Crimson Brush a great chance to still meet. And
Yeah,
be a
She
part of it.
will. She will have some limited opportunities to do some private coaching as well. If you have a spare day and a spare, chunk of cash that you want to throw at someone giving you some tailored, specific feedback, I'm sure she would love to. So I will announce more on that over the next few days, and it's exciting to have international guests coming back to.
It
our
is.
country.
It is. It's very exciting.
So, how many entries can I commit to each of you for
20.
I'll say 20.
20?
Depends what I paint.
25.
Is it 30?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going, what's your award that you do? The most model
The Trent Anderson Award for
Yeah.
most entries.
Yeah.
Yep.
Previous record held by Trent Anderson at 21.
Okay.
Oh,
No.
Okay, 23.
sick.
Nope. Previous record is held by Andy Bucks
How many?
with 23.
All right.
Oh.
I recall you entering some entries, but some of them were so bad that they don't count.
It
I was
didn't even
gonna
give you
say-
the box award.
Well, I was going to say, I've got a shelf that I reckon I could steamroll that award
Yeah,
in from
yeah.
4 years.
See, I did that, and I think
entry.
he took one look at me and went, "Yep, that'll do it," and then he just ignored the award.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
ever get a mention.
Do you want to know why I ignored you? I'll tell you the truth. So that award was actually presented to me by Meg, and it was a
meme,
piece
wasn't
of
it?
cardboard
Yeah,
that she
yeah.
wrote the Trent Anderson Award, and she put old wax on it that
Yeah.
that had basically was just the offcuts. So it was a piece of cardboard with Nico pen and wax,
Yeah.
and she presented it to me. So then the next year, when I won it again, I crossed out my name and put my name in again,
Yeah, nice.
and then handed it back to myself.
Yeah.
The following year, it was won by Kyra, and I gave it to her, and she, for some reason, didn't bring it back. So,
Well,
otherwise,
I
it would have been
will-
The circulating cardboard.
I think we need to make a new one.
perennial
Yeah.
trophy. So
Yeah, we'll make a
we'll
new
put
one.
something together.
I just really looking forward to Crimson Brush and really looking forward to meeting new people as well.
I'm not looking forward to meeting new people, but I
I'm
am looking forward to
being
Crimson
with
Brush.
everyone again.
Wonderful. It's a for you two. It's a much more compressed,
Yeah.
romantic.
Will
Yeah.
I have people showing me pigments?
No.
that I-
No.
You never know what I might be
You
interested
You'll be-
never know what Ben's going to bring up to
Yeah, I
me.
might be
You
interested
might
in
actually have
pigments
to
at
have
this
a
We,
talk
we
with
have
him.
we have a relatively small space,
Yeah.
but it's such an awesome vibe and atmosphere that
Yeah,
it feels bigger than it is.
I'm very excited. Very excited.
Good. All right. Any questions from the chat for these great people? We don't get to see them on stream very often. Ben occasionally streams. Hasn't done for a little while.
12 months, yeah.
You just want to meet Deno Mozzo.
It's not that impressive.
I'll remember that.
No.
Trouble now.
Obviously, yeah. If you don't have anything, I reckon pieces. We've got a whole bunch of pieces in front of us. I'm going to go through.
I might
You
do
can
this.
join me if you want to or not, but I'm going to go through and pick my favourite from each one of you,
Yeah, sure.
and then my favourite of my own.
Yeah,
Okay.
done.
So we'll start with Deno because none of it's on cam. My favourite piece from Deno at this was
Handheld cam. Action shot.
I'm going to exclude At the Gates of Hyperborea from this because that is a different thing altogether. The vignette that you won gold for, Severak and Sorak,
The duel.
Yep.
the duel.
Yep.
The snake and phoenix element, I think, is just awesome. Loved it. Loved the piece. So that was my favourite from Trent. My favourite from Bun. This is the hardest one maybe because it's between Windrider and Sarah, and they're two different subjects, and one's they're like one is a what are they called again? A picture frame piece. Just go dead in the brain there. A picture frame piece. And then one is like a plaque piece. So if I had to pick one, I'm going to say Sarah. That. Windrider.
All right. So Windrider,
Yeah. For Ben,
Sheep Rider,
Sheep Rider.
and Goblin.
No. For me,
Spartan.
no.
Little Dickhead.
No. You know which one it is. It's
Oh,
yeah.
Chicken Quest. No, you
yeah,
did.
Chicken Quest is my favourite of my own. So there you go.
Yeah.
And popular, like, people not liking pink splatters, that's
Yeah,
okay with
that's that
me,
pink
but I
shit.
love pink splatters on my
What is
things,
that pink shit?
so.
Yeah.
Benny, your favourites?
Me personally, Sheep Rider. For myself, for Andy, it would probably be. I do love the Spartan and the Goblin a lot, but I love this fella. I love this shield on this.
Ah,
bloke.
yes, this little ghoul.
Yeah, this little fella here.
Very cool.
For Bun, I'm very blessed. I get to see all these all the time. It is probably going to be Yama.
Yama.
Purely because I got to watch her stress out over that piece.
Cry over it like 4 times.
There was one night
There was-
we were hanging out and I'm like, is Storm coming on tonight? Because it was just Ben and I, and he's like, nah, she can't look at Yama anymore. She's had a meltdown.
Yeah,
and then he brought it over and we're both looking at it. We didn't tell you this. We're both looking at it and we're like, what's she melting down about?
No,
Like,
I broke her hand and her spare, I think, like 4 or 5
Yeah.
times just
Yeah.
because it was pissing me off. Like, I'd just grab it and just be like, nah, fuck
You,
it.
you have a bit of an ease with a lot of pieces, and that one, seeing you have a challenge, I love it. It's great. As for
seen you
Deno,
struggle.
yeah. As for Deno, the duel,
Yeah.
that's probably my favorite. Seeing that
Is it?
in the flesh, that I thought was really fantastic. The color is a lot of brown and green, man. I loved it.
You do love Benny.
I love brown and green.
Bun, your favourites from these great chaps?
My favourite from Ben is his Butcher. I think it's always been my
The
favourite.
Butcher.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
love the Butcher,
I've
don't you?
always loved
Yeah.
her. Thick ass woman. From Bucks, it's the Gobbo. It's just his face, his skin. It's just so beautiful. Like, he's just a golden boy.
The last of the golden gobs.
He is the last of the golden
Your favourite
Gobs.
Wind Rider?
That's just like me in general, but I think personally, like my favorite, who I like pick out of these, is I absolutely love my cozy.
Yeah. How to Mr. Dennison?
Mr. Dennison would be what recent, whatever.
No, what do you have there?
What do you had there?
Probably Spider Cleans.
Spider-Clean.
You do love that model.
I do very much love
like
that
Spider
model.
Cleans.
I love Spider-Cleans so
Pixie's
much.
there as well, remember? Pixie was awesome.
Pixie was very cute. She does have a bit of a fucked face.
Tailed up, tailed up.
You try painting upside down faces.
I didn't understand your eye choices on that, but she had like headlight eyes.
Yeah, blood's run to a head.
She's just fucking upside down. No, the Pixie, I would have made a couple of different like picks on her like color choices. Like, you know, blushing the knees, blushing her face a little bit more and stuff like that. But Spider-Cleans all over her, he was like my favourite.
For you, pal?
I've already talked.
Yeah.
Spartan, Sheep Rider, Yama, easy.
Yeah.
Yourself?
It's hard to go past the 7 weeks of work that went into the gates of
Hyperborea is
Hyperborea.
different. It
Yeah.
sits differently.
It's
It's
different,
not.
yeah.
It's not.
It's a different
Yeah, it's
different
different.
I call that
world.
world building.
Yeah.
Hyperborea can only be compared to Camelot. And what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, probably.
It's the jewel, isn't it? It's got to be.
Nah, what about the
Morrigan?
Yeah, Morrigan.
Yeah, it's probably Frozen Throne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because that was a little project that I wasn't
know what?
expecting.
Criminally underrated, that one.
Yeah,
I
criminal.
like
Criminally underrated.
your cane.
Yeah, Kane.
Kane's actually
Kane.
Also
So
criminally
hey, we've got a little minute. So, if we were going to predict winners, I think we'd be absolute dog shit at it, because I think what we had pegged for being what we thought was good versus what the judges thought was good was
We had a
way
bit of
off.
a mare. We had a bit of a mare.
Yeah. We laid some eggs. So
the only category I thought I would do okay in was Star Wars.
and you did
did,
exceedingly
Yes.
well.
Yeah, that was the only one. The rest though, like this was a filler.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh,
I was shocked because I imposter syndrome type of thing.
Yeah.
I think Andy and Ben are way more deserving compared to my stuff.
Everyone is deserving, buddy.
Yeah.
Everyone is
I
deserving.
feel like my stuff is somewhat more of a beginner
I think
level still, where you guys have just there's a little bit more life and stuff in your guys' stuff, especially yours.
don't undersell it.
Yeah, but also don't compete against others.
Yeah.
Compete against yourself.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
The-
So this is like my adjustment was I put some pink splatters on this and it wasn't good enough, so
Yeah,
I
it
just
was-
painted a whole dude pink,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
nah, I think that's the same way I do it. Like I compare, you know, it started off with Goblin, then to Alchemist, then to Sheep Rider, and I just keep going up, and I just compare it to the last one.
You belong here as much as any of us do,
100%.
and don't forget it. And if you do, we're here to remind you.
oh, I've got 2 gold medals in
You
two
do have
categories
2 gold
this
medals.
year.
Kick the shit out of me.
Yeah, I got 2 gold medals. You got 2 gold medals.
I think we all got 2, didn't
We
we?
all got
we
2.
all got 2.
We all got 2.
But I took home the main bus category, so I was like,
Yeah, only one of you's got
Yeah.
people's choice. Though,
Yeah.
so.
yeah,
People's choice.
People's
you
choice.
got
figures.
humanoid bust. I got monster bust
Yeah.
for the same
Yeah.
category.
And
I got historical
I got
bust.
figures.
You got figures.
I got figures, yeah.
You
No.
cleaned Star Wars up,
No.
and then
Today's
Trent got.
night, you
What was your
should
category called that you golded? Silrak and Solrak golded.
as diorama small.
Dara,
Small
so
diorama.
yeah,
Adaeus, it's definitely a vastly different world than it was in the 90s. Both Bucks and I have been Warhammer players for a long time. And
yeah.
we painted in that era. This side of the hobby, the display painting side, has come on in leaps and bounds. But as I said before, mate, the only thing that you need to worry about is, are you having fun when you paint? And if you're doing that, then you're winning.
100%.
And come along to events not because you want to compete, but because you want to get better and you want to meet people. And you'll continue to have fun, continue to succeed.
100%.
So It's been a pleasure speaking with all of you both tonight and this weekend. Is there any final words of wisdom that you would like to share before we wrap up?
Keep painting.
Yeah, I was gonna say keep your toes away and don't.
One final thing. Let's close on this. Actually, let me just go get my phone. Let's close on this. This will be probably your new closing
Title screen.
How many
image.
pictures of my feet have you fused into one?
I took 3 and I've got a video.
I want to start a OnlyFans.
So
Yeah,
I guess for everyone on the stream, did we showed philodendrons on the stream, didn't we?
I think we did, yeah.
So I got to have a first-hand experience, literally with some philodendrons today. That was good fun.
Good preparation to have your phone off.
Well, it died, so it won't take too long.
I did start streaming again. Work's just been very bad.
Streaming is tough,
It
if I can
is.
say. It's hard to get pumped up to stream. Not because I dislike it, because I dislike people, but it's just when you are frazzled and exhausted.
I work full time.
Yeah.
I only get a couple days. I get 1 day to myself without Ben and
After the
housemates and
excitement
stuff
of
like that.
streaming wears off, when you're like,
Yep.
yeah, I'm doing something cool and new and it's fun,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I'm meeting cool new people and stuff. After the excitement walks away, you're left with what feels like an obligation,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
and
You start feeling guilty, like
that's
when
the
you start
last
falling
thing that I
out.
want
yeah.
my painting to be
Yeah,
and to
that's
feel like.
exactly. what I
So I in the last few months, I haven't given a shit if I haven't streamed. I'm just
Yeah.
been like, and I don't even say I'm
So-
not streaming. I
Yeah,
just
just
do
don't,
it.
yeah.
So
If I feel like painting, and most Monday nights I get home and I'm excited to paint because
Yeah.
it's been a long day and I'm ready
So
to
if
go.
I can say it, your streaming doesn't just act as a thing for you; it's a schedule for a lot of us, right?
Yeah.
And so you give up a lot to give to us, so we appreciate it.
Don't do it for your appreciation, Andrew.
No, we know you don't do it for our appreciation. You do it for your own reasons.
How
but
long is this?
It's
fucking
coming to you
foot
right
photo
now.
gonna
It's
take?
coming to you right now, mate. So just calm it down.
Is it in the Discord or?
No, I'm sending it directly to you.
All right, in what, on Instagram or
Oh my god!
how many?
I'll send it to
If,
Discord.
if we put your
Yeah,
feet
you sent
photos in the
Let me-
Stonebeardians chat on
What,
Instagram,
it
there was
in-
3 of them.
It's
and
from Facebook.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll send it to you.
I've got the image, but you can just send it to Trent.
This is not going to be anywhere near as funny as you've built it up to be because you took so long.
It's not about it being funny. It's about it just being
On your Instagram.
on your Instagram, mate.
I'm glad, Scarabos, that is the case. I think Mondays get a bad rap. I look forward to Mondays.
This is some more beautiful work from our dear friend.
Ah, yes. It's quite reasonable.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? It's quite reasonable. That's a great effort.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how we're going to close out this stream. Look at that wonderfulness.
Funny's losing the plot.
Do you know who made that?
Yeah, Mole Man, the grey.
He has a fear strong.
So he made.
He braved his fear.
He
to
hates
keep
it.
this.
Hates.
So that, in case you're wondering, that is my foot. And in Queensland, I just wear thongs because it's hot.
Yeah.
And so the big clodhoppers are out and about all
Yeah,
the time.
what do you call them? The concrete grippers.
concrete grippers put
Yeah.
them fucking dogs like.
So I whipped them out. My feet were hot from in the
God,
thongs. So I put them on this nice cement. It felt nice. And
You were assaulted.
And
Paparazzi.
then-
And then we immediately
random people
swooped
start
in.
taking photos of my feet.
It's free.
Chasing
It's
me.
money.
profit. It was free real estate.
So there you go. You've now all seen my feet with pictures of my face on each of my toes.
Not an image you ever thought you would see in your life.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Every now and again, that foot might just pop up, you know?
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Friends, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you,
Hey,
mate. Very much
thanks,
appreciated.
Thanks to Rocket for having us here.
And,
Party Monday will continue next week, probably, and maybe not. But the important thing is that we all enjoy painting, and I am feeling the
The
fire deep in the belly to
Yeah.
get this vampire diorama done, to get this little spirit
I'm
done,
looking forward to
and to
the...
really push
that.
some new boundaries.
Yeah.
So I've got to stay ahead of you clowns.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Bunny.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you,
As
Andrew.
always.
Friends, we will go find someone that we can raid. Let's just have a little...
It's when you're
Can you walk that?
Stephen.
Can you walk that back? That was pretty funny, wasn't it?
Let's go.
It's like
go,
5
Ray.
little deados.
Let's go, Ray. Mittens. Mittens is on. She's a legend. She's been painting for 4 hours. She's a
She
fucking loose
goes. She goes.
She goes hard.
Yeah, she is a superstar. Which one's this one? Yeah. All right.
The Moderati, really. I forgot that.
Friends, you're all
the channel's
wonderful.
Moderati.
We will see you again.
Bye.
Should be back Sunday. Yeah. You're
We should
all,
be over there.
You're all
Oh, yeah,
there,
we are there.
friends. GG.
Yeah, we're waving to ourselves.
See you back. Wonderful friends. We'll catch you all next week. Big Dino out.
Peace.
See ya.